will often bring surprising changes.
JBL, I don't apologize to anybody.
You believe that? 25 years old and they're
missed the home run because of the throw up. So,
and I've seen a bunch of them.
Conley Field will move on to round 2.
Third person who's giving me this today.
To hear Zeppelin for the first time.
Jason London is the top vote getter.
Now how do you like them apples?
40,000 players have stepped up.
You don't have 3 times that number of stars.
Gets away from goal.
Even if I argued them, they would be 50-50.
Officially in round number 2 is Marcus Buff Bagwell.
Because my colleague here has been elected to the Basketball Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
And they didn't even do it for all of the games.
It's about SMU's fall from grace.
Having something behind.
There's 2 guys standing there and zip.
As long as there's expertise.
They sent him out to Fort Sill, Oklahoma.
Future science officer.
You're gonna have a few words with him.
So good to see you.
I don't want to be a role model.
Professional soccer teams. Steven Tobolowsky barely ekes out a win again.
Taylor.
His name was Herb Moak.
When it wasn't a million newspapers.
A big butt when he smiles.
We're the ones we saw in front of the castle.
I am Ted.
I don't understand what Wichita has to do with a snowstorm and shit.
The woman who played my mother in Amityville Part 2 is also Latin.
She's coming hard with that boy.
Dignified is the word often associated with Lenny.
And it was me that called your number. And
I think this speech is so impactful.
Stay here while I go talk to him.
My daughter is too good for you.
It's just going to get out of control.
Jeremy, London has a rebuttal.
My voice should be heard.
Because the way you're looking at me, we must be old friends.
That's terrific.
She was a politician.
But inwardly, you could have a different feeling.
Bruce Wayne.
Alexander Knox.
WWE Hall of Fame.
My name was Kashmir.
Of the AFI Life Achievement Award.
The bar makes it look easy. The doubleheaders they played were consistent. They played these games on Saturdays and Sundays. That's what started the war.
And the human life on both sides. It was not respected on both sides. Every athlete, they would love this show. How do we get all of the academics, the athletes to watch? There is nothing that was on TV tonight that even remotely rivals what we did on this broadcast.
Have you ever had an affair with your roommate?
People don't know that Ray Lewis was on Dancing with the Stars.
Being a Minnesota native, I'm almost betraying Minnesota Vikings.
didn't pack enough underwear.
Ago, you made such a convincing case.
I was much taller and much bigger.
Doing right, another In the Heights.
Hi, I'm Ponzi, and this is my good buddy Fonz.
Guess I'm the only one he didn't invite.
That's thicker than water and thicker than your blood. My money.
Adoption is a very important,
It's not so much about all of his music.
A very sick boy.
When he was a young boy, he got a guitar.
He became a prisoner of his own fame.
The script is 450 pages long.
This is Michael.
He actually created the shot.
You heard, Leela.
They are tired of your talk.
There's a flip side to that coin.
I've always loved professional wrestling.
Tremendous call. Your name is Flame. Don't dare play me cheap.
How precious gift of life is.
You have to be careful when you fall in love.
Somewhere down the line, we'll have.
Son, I've had the greatest life.
170 films.
The American dream lives on in Minnesota.
Years for the part of a lifetime.
Listening to me!
This film needs to come back.
Got to keep my I'm not the fool everyone expects to play me for.
Paleontologist.
Grabs a chair, slams it.
Throw in Donnie's ashes and they blow back in his face.
Tanya said she voted for Peter. Okay, I appreciate that.
34.
Gosh.
Strange and wonderful world of professional wrestling.
I'll kill anybody who does.
I don't give jobs, I hire men.
Your things inside you matured and tears come.
It doesn't grow on trees, you know.
The body of the doll.
This is the world's greatest film.
Jeff's loss of everything.
So Tretch, Don Most, and Tom Holland will all be moving to round number 2.
Morrison is gone. He is fouled by Hudson.
You know me, Gene. These are titanium.
For all of the retired players and
There's that head-to-head matchup, and he clearly.
Basketball could help me cope with that.
But now you're my hero in life. Got to keep my
cool. Quote the Raven, nevermore.
On the way down.
More old folks that want it fast and right now.
What you see is what you'll get from me.
Who are you?
I am Belki Bartokomuz.
This is Lucas.
Because it relates a lot to my childhood.
Every object that we see.
Got to keep my cool.
I ain't blowing my own horn, but I made it work.
Telling me, Mike, you won't be able to stand the rigors of the NBA. And now that I look,
Be ready to reach those heights. You gotta quit being stupid.
Needs to look spectacular.
write more songs and practice my instrument.
We're all inherently psychic.
I became the undisputed welterweight champion of the world behind that.
We take it one step at a time.
I'm trying to win this entire thing.
Just like in sports, I'm sure Jim would say the same thing. You don't play for individual awards.
Well, yeah, I'd love to be able to say I beat all these guys in a debate.
It's about the pride and the pride.
Prize is pretty darn good too.
It's always about the pride.
I come here to chew gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
At the end of the day, it really is about winning.
Yeah, heck yeah, I'm here to win. It's in my DNA.
Absolutely, 100%. I'm here to do my best.
Everybody has some pride.
Victory has 1,000 fathers, but defeat is an orphan. I plan on winning tonight.
She's in here doing mental push-up.
You know, winning is really important. But you know what's even greater is inspiring. That's what you do with this show.
Well, you're in it to win it, or why be in it at all?
I'm about winning. I think I'd be more interested in the prize.
It's about the prize.
Avi, I am here to go for the gusto.
Why are you keeping score if you don't want to win it? You know?
I would like to win that. We all want to win.
I'm here to win.
I'll do the best I can and leave it up to the voters.
Of course, I'd love to win.
I'm always in it to win it, Avi.
I'm definitely in it to win it.
I've already won.
I hate losing. I want to go to Greece.
It's about the pride. You don't want to come in second. You want to be first.
Well, of course I am. I don't do nothing to lose.
Yes, I do. Of course I do. I want to go to Greece.
I have a newborn daughter, so I'm here to win it for her.
Wouldn't be on here if I wasn't going to win something.
Yes, I'm going to win it all, man.
Winning it all, baby.
Send some kids to Greece.
So definitely.
Win, I'll turn it back into the pool.
The money? Absolutely. I'm going for it all the way.
Party people! That's right.
I'm here. Nothing better than the top.
Well, I'm going to give it 110%.
We don't go out with no losing mentality, man.
So I'm here to win.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm here to win the whole thing, man. I don't get in the ring for losing, man. I'm like in the ring right now. To do the best I can. Looking forward to it.
Use that to kind of opportunity to do those similar things. Somebody's going to be a winner. It might be me. And have to want to win this thing.
The Mountie always gets his man.
Dude, I'm going to win.
I don't play. I just win.
Some fun.
The sister of Mary Hartman. I can't think of the character's name.
Kathy Shumway, maybe?
Yeah, she was Kathy Shumway. Very
Shumway.
good. That's very impressive. You got a good workshop you're doing.
Sure
This is
man.
what's going on in your workshop.
Sweep the leg.
You're sheer 9 or 10. You're probably 9.5. 10 is no one's perfect, but honest to God, you're terrific. You do your homework, and I
appreciate
I've done
that.
Everybody. I've done in the 80s. I did Johnny Carson. I did Merv Griffin. I did it all. And you're very energetic and good. And you asked the right question.
Welcome, Bronson Pinchot, my friend.
Thank you. I commend you for that. That's some of the best.
Mr. Cooper, welcome, my friend.
I mean, that was fantastic. You are great. The only other person that has that kind of spontaneity and the gift of gab was the late, great Chick Hearn. We thought Golden Throat was gone, but he's reincarnated in you.
Welcome to the celebrity tournament, my friend.
Thank you, Avi. I agree with all your previous guests. You give good intro.
Another trio of questions, now more underrated. We have Billy D. Williams, Italian man named Skippy, or unicycle.
I'm sorry, Italian men named Skippy. Put me away, Avi. That's.
They sold the merchandise and merch.
They put their own sequels in the movie ahead
in
of time.
The movie.
You're bleeding, man. I ain't got time to bleed.
Abolish the political parties.
Last name Ventura, first name Jesse.
I'll tell you this, Avi, you definitely do your homework. Hey, like I said, the good thing about you're extremely prepared, much more prepared than most interviewers that I get.
Can we go find these Spice Girls already and get this over with?
Oh, where'd you get that book from?
Yeah, there we go.
It's my earful. That's easy.
Again,
I tell you what, you did your homework.
Could you have fun here in the green room?
Anytime you want me back, I'm here, brother.
Mr. Fick, welcome, my friend.
Oh my God, I'm speechless after that. I'm trying to come down from the mountaintop. Prince used to say we went to the mountaintop. Well, I'm still there.
Welcome to the celebrity tournament, Courtney Gates.
Glad I filmed that, man. I saw everybody else was so hyped on your intros. I figured I better get that thing since it was live. That was excellent.
Not a bunch of whistle.
John Amos.
Man, what an introduction. I hope I can live up to that. God bless you.
I'm prepared to take on this challenge of this wonderful monologue that you've written, and I couldn't think of anything I'd rather do after I read it again for maybe the third or fourth time. I wish that I'd had the time to commit it to memory because it deserves that. Giving me your thoughts and your input, because as I told you, that piece that you sent me is, I love good writing.
Last name Darso, first name Barry.
Holy cow, what an intro
that was. I couldn't have said it better than myself. Unbelievable. Thank you.
Bill, welcome to the Celebrity Grand Debate Tournament, my friend.
Thank you, my friend. What an introduction. I'll tell you, it's amazing.
Mr. Long, how are you, my friend?
Listen, player, let me tell you, I've just been waiting on one of those introductions, and I was sitting there watching the opening of the show, seeing all these guys talk about, oh man, thank you, that was the greatest introduction we've ever had, and I'm sitting here, I'm saying to myself, please, I'm waiting on him to introduce me. I want to see exactly what they mean, and they didn't lie. Your mic skills are tremendous, player. I'm telling you right now, man, all I can say is what an honor.
Ray Mercer, welcome to the Celebrity Tournament, my friend.
Hey, man, it's a pleasure being here, man. It's an honor.
Ryan, welcome to the Celebrity Tournament, my friend. Man.
Whoa, dude. Yo, if I ever need to find somebody, just in general, I am calling you. That was incredible.
Mr. Spencer Haywood, welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for that great introduction. This is awesome.
Welcome, DC Glenn.
This is how I feel about your introduction.
Rico!
Get it. Jerry Lucas, welcome, my friend.
Thank you, Avi, so very much. I appreciate what you've said.
Jeff Timmons, welcome, my friend.
Avi, thank you, man. That is quite the introduction. I've done a ton of these things, as you know. I've never had an intro like that. Kudos to you, man. It's an honor to be with you. Thanks for having me. I totally appreciate it.
Lou, welcome, my friend.
Thank you. That's the best introduction I've ever heard in my life. You know something? You need to quit the show and be my moderator and travel with me.
Welcome, Jacques Rougeau.
I don't know what to say. I think you should write my own book like the intro. Would you do that again?
Larry Zabisco, welcome, my friend.
Thank you, Avi. You're amazing, brother. I was always known as a good talker, but I don't know what the hell to say after listening to you. You're amazing.
Tim Hardaway, welcome, my friend.
Thanks, man. That was great. I love the introduction. Yeah, you go with me anywhere and introduce me. I appreciate that. That was the best introduction I ever had in my life, my career.
I think that you've done a fabulous job, and I have not met an interviewer like you. You know, neither have I had some of these questions that really sort of went very deep into my heart.
Did you have a lot of fun today, Raven?
I thought it was a really good time. It's about education and entertainment.
The Ring, did you have fun tonight as well?
Man, I had a ball tonight, man. No lie.
Again, did you have a nice time?
I did. I enjoyed it immensely. It really got me thinking, and I really got a chance to meet a couple fantastic guys.
Now, but my hats off to you. I could have stayed on for hours more. I love different topics. You know, you letting us speak and just reaching other things we never ever spoke about.
Dude, absolutely. Oh my God, this was beyond expectations.
Yes,
I
sir.
love you. This is amazing.
Did you have fun, my
I really did, Avi. Thank you. It was great.
I had a great time. It was great. I mean, your intro for me was just awesome, but also the intro to the show was like, wow, you have all of these people. The only two people I want to beat right now is Rick Barry and Eddie Johnson. Maybe I'm coming for you.
Really good discussion and the respect. You know, you're at the center of it all, and you really are terrific at this. I've never done anything remotely like this, and
I had a blast, man. This was absolutely phenomenal. So keep up the good work. I hope this takes off even bigger and better than it is right now with you.
I had a wonderful time, Avi. You gave me good eargasm tonight, man. I love your voice. I love the things that you talk about, man, and the gift of gab you have. Like I told you, it's almost like you're Chick Hearn reincarnated, but you're great, my friend. Wonderful, wonderful, great. Love this show.
Did you have a lot of fun tonight?
Well, yeah, it was completely different. I mean, it's not like a podcast at all and the stuff. Avi, the way you talk and stuff, and you're amazing, brother.
Man, this was incredible. This is different. I don't even know where you come up with these questions. You're so innovative. I love it, man, because it got me thinking. Man, this is beautiful. When you got a hangover, you can have some of these.
I've had a 32-year hangover watching the Knicks.
Is eargasm a word?
It is now. Did you have a good time tonight, my friend?
you have something amazing going with the show but you're there and you're educating us. You're taking people from different eras, different disciplines. You're taking us out of our comfort zone. You're making us fall in love with people that we didn't know.
No one will ever ad-lib like you. It is amazing, though, that everyone that comes on, they always say the same thing. How did you know all of that? That is just simply amazing.
That was one of the best introductions I've ever had in my entire life. Better than my bar mitzvah.
Perfect timing, tight as a drum. You find the balance.
Did you find the technique itself helpful when it came to observing your scene partner staying present instead of strictly relying upon memory?
That's a great question, Avi.
Ralph Cramden, the yoga instructor, or Don Corleone, the computer repair person?
I really enjoyed this, man. You're a smart guy and you ask really good questions. And
Joe, welcome, my friend.
I think I have whiplash, Avi. Thank you very much.
Jim Duggan, welcome, my friend.
Well, thank you very much.
Ed Begley, welcome, my friend, to the green room again.
Thank you so much, Avi. Good to be back.
Welcome, my friend.
What a hell of an introduction. That was cool, man. I don't even think Michael Buffer did it better than you, brother.
John, most welcome, my friend.
Oh, thank you, Avi. What an introduction. That was very impressive.
The one and only Stretch.
Yo, that was dope.
I
You
appreciate
better than
that.
a lot of these rappers out there.
Tom Holland, welcome, my friend.
I stand in awe of your memory and your ability to rhyme, and it's just amazing.
What an incredible introduction, Avi. That is probably the best introduction I've probably ever had.
DiBiase, welcome, my friend.
Brother, I'm going to take you with me everywhere to get an introduction. It's the best introduction I've ever had in my life. Thoroughly enjoyed myself. And it's so positive.
Mark, welcome, my friend.
Think positive. Oh my gosh. I feel like I just ran a marathon listening to that, man.
Come on. Welcome, my friend.
Every day's a Friday and every night a Saturday night, Happyville. And I am so happy to be on this show.
Welcome, my friend.
I hope you didn't mind that I filmed that intro you just did for me because I'm going to play that on my low self-esteem day.
Jake Roberts, my friend.
Wow, that was scary.
Welcome, Brutus, to the Celebrity Tournament.
I love this. This is great. You got the intro down to a science, baby.
Bruce Davison, welcome to the tournament, my friend.
That was great, man. Where'd you dig that all up? That's amazing.
Glad I filmed that, man. I saw everybody else was so hyped on your intros. I figured I better get that thing since it was live.
Jesse Ventura, my friend.
Thank you, Avi. It's great to be here and great to be back interviewed by you. It's been far too long.
Never been out with a girl before.
You made me laugh, too. It was great.
I think Alf would be wisecracking while the alien would be tearing everybody apart, I guess. Let's talk about some of the 80s horror classics. Last name Wilkins, first name Lenny. Lenny Wilkins, my friend, welcome.
Thank you, man.
And all of the actors and directors, different worlds come together. This is like a sanctuary for those people because we don't always get to talk about the things that really, truly move us. I love this show because it makes me feel.
Dally Kirkland, welcome to the green room.
How did you do that thing where you were talking so fast?
I don't know.
I very few people can do what you did. Well, the acting teacher here, 35 years, commends you on your ability to do that. I'm very impressed.
Did you have fun tonight as well?
Man, I had a ball tonight. Nobody do it like my boy Avi.
I had a good time.
Because I've done podcasts in the past, and so what have you done and what are you going to be doing later? This is fantastic. I mean, this gets your juices going. You know, it gets you thinking. We had fun. You know, it's fun and it is educational. So
It was intellectually stimulating, which is a unique thing in this world of ours today.
Lou, did you have a good time, my friend?
Yes, I had a fabulous time. Thanks for having me on the show.
Question, did you have a good time, my friend, tonight?
I did. It's so unusual to be engaged in what everybody else is saying and to want to listen.
I want to compliment you on giving me my best introduction I've ever had in my whole life, too. That's the first thing.
Thank you. You have fun tonight, my good friend?
Yes, I did, man. I really enjoyed every minute of it, man. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm just happy I made it to the next round.
And you, Avi, I have a great deal of respect for your resume as well. I mean, I've done many interviews over the years, but this has been one of the most fun by far.
Did you have fun tonight, my friend?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Looking for
being around people who are willing and open. I like that.
I did have a good time. It was a lot different than what I thought it was going to be, and I really enjoyed it.
I appreciate you, and I appreciate the opportunity. It was exhilarating. Like Barry, I didn't know what to expect. I enjoyed it. You bring in people from different walks of life. It's good to be able to see that you bring people together that, you know what, maybe one of the world's problems will get solved by listening to this show. And I want you to accept the accolades that you get from all of these brilliant people. They tell you that you're smart. They tell you that you're exposed. These are comments and compliments that you have to say, thank you very much, I accept.
My name is Sergeant Slaughter.
Wasn't sure what to expect. You're number one in my book as far as putting on a podcast, knowing what you know.
You're terrific. I've never done something like this before, so it was fun.
No, you know what? You're a very interesting person. With all this rhyming stuff, you must really put a lot of effort into this. I would love to read or see something that you've written because I'm sure it's really interesting.
You're rated in why? Sauerkraut, Henry Kissinger's deep soothing voice, or dogs wearing sweaters?
I like dogs wearing sweaters.
Rage, is teaching this craft as rewarding for you as performing it?
I think sometimes it's more rewarding. Man, you do your research. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. You do a great job preparing.
A very simple formula. Everybody's a suspect.
I hope you're getting paid a lot. That was the greatest intro I think I've ever had.
The amount of stuff that you talk about that I don't even remember about myself, so impressive that I'm highly impressed. So I would give this a very high A.
Oh, I did. It was like a high school reunion.
Yeah, no, it's terrific and it's fun and keep bringing diverse personalities together. I think that's great. And it's also wonderful to hear people talk talk sanely to each other today.
What's up, Vic? How you doing, man? I like that introduction. Golly, I didn't know that stuff about myself. This is, I think, my top. I mean, because when you do the intro you gave me, I gotta give it to you. I like
You deserve it. Later on, you were able to get her cast on a series, and she received her SAG card. Is that right?
Oh, I love you that you brought that up. I can't tell you how refreshing it is that somebody knows what they're doing.
What an honor to meet you. And
My
you're
pleasure.
great.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
Courtney, did you have a lot of fun too as well?
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys have fun?
I had a blast. This is a great show.
What a blast.
I had a great time tonight. If you keep rhyming, man. Like I said, it gave like a battle rap, spoken word.
Usually I'll do interviews and get asked the same questions about Stephen King. This was great to talk about things that matter, that go beyond projects.
Last name Johnson, first name Ed.
Wow! When I have a retirement party, even at my funeral, you better show up.
Papa Smurf as a hip hop artist.
Yo, yeah.
You're very talented. That's amazing.
Mr. Sizemore, first name Tom. How are you, my friend? So I could turn the volume lower if you'd like next time, if you'd like me to do that.
I don't know what I can do now.
First name Keith.
Oh my God, what a great introduction. Fantastic. You do your research, connected with me right there. And he knows my brand. He nailed it. And I know why. This is why your audiences love you. This is why you continue to great guests. And great guests beget great guests.
I think it's fabulous. I'm excited.
Good. How you feel, John?
Terrific.
Guys and gals and pals, if you, all of you watching right now live, are a fan of fiery, unbridled passion, then that intro says it all, as it can melt the South Pole. This place we call the Green Room is filled with edutainment and has plenty of heart and soul. Richard Donner, my mentor, director of Superman, Lethal Weapon, Goonies, and more, took me under his wing, and there hasn't been a second in which I abandoned this craft ever since. Its purpose I shall always sing. It's time I listen to Stanislavski and take a beat as I process everything in real time. This is the 170th consecutive episode of the Green Room, a feeling that cannot be expressed through a mere rhyme. This craft, this art, this blank canvas that we fill with our souls are reminders that passion is eternal. This heart of mine on full display I provide unto you wholeheartedly. It guides me. It is as internal as it is external. With a bevy of views on 53 pages, week in and week out, innovation is our name and the sweat is the sweet. Dedication, labor, innovation only arrive when your effort is absolute. So put that in a tweet. And in this celebrity tournament that has captivated the masses, the field is one of a kind. Luminaries from all walks of life gathering to compete for the pride and the prize. This is truly a sport of the mind. Sure, the numbers are fantastic on 53 plus pages, not including my own, but what's even sweeter is the sweat. By that, I mean good old-fashioned work ethic, wholehearted passion, effort, and consistency never lead to regret. The good bard, Mr. Shakespeare himself, said, our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to. And those words ring oh so true. It means that you're the author of your story. Don't edit your vision due to others that secretly prefer to boo while attempting to obstruct your view. I dub what you see on Saturday night as competitive camaraderie, and I call it edutainment, where we educate and entertain. With 13 grand in a trip for 2 degrees and becoming the first champ of this star-studded field, a lot is on the line. But you, our audience, the engine that makes this thing go, are the sweet nectar that we appreciate like fine old wine. So sit back and enjoy this month, guys and gals, as round number 1 isn't quite done. Thought-provoking topics that cover it all. History, sports, philosophy. But you know how we do? We always have fun. As strangers become friends, and we all come together, let's remember that we are closer than one might surmise. Limitless visions of innovative bliss, experienced by Ensemble, is the vision behind these eyes. Never hate the flower for starting out as a seed. Long-distance running is essential. This isn't a stampede, so don't run anyone over on your way to the top. Focus on yourself and never forget to cheerlead. Root for your loved ones and lift people up. This human fortune cookie, guys and gals, that we've all agreed, positivity is something that we can never concede. So, guys, with that, very quickly, our judges, our 2 surprise judges, and then our 2 participants who are here to have a great conversation. They're both incredible human beings. Let's bring in our first judge. Our first judge is a man that never toots his own horn. Countless faces and smiles across the land are grateful that he was born. The reason for this is because of the person he is, which goes beyond any accolade. He wants to win this entire tournament as well, so prepare a blockade. Be afraid and pray that you make the grade. But overall, be prepared to smile in his presence because he eliminates any sense of dread. So welcome a friend and brother and wish Happy New Year to Mr. Ottman, first name Fred. Fred Ottman, welcome my friend as our judge tonight.
Yes, I'm excited about being here. Full steam ahead going into the new year.
And we don't know, we know who's back there. The viewers don't. Are you pumped up for this tonight, Fred?
Man, I am so excited, brother. Two legends.
Yes.
Two legends waiting to come out. Amazing.
Absolutely. And so are you, and you're a great human being. And guys, Fred Ottman is also in round number 2, so we have the best seat in the house. We're going to listen to some stimulating conversation, and I'll put you back momentarily, my friend.
Thank you.
Fred Ottman, guys and gals. The great Fred Ottman, of course. We have another celebrity judge. On location, if you will. You know, it's funny. We just mentioned this person's name, my friend. Booker T. Washington said, "I shall allow no man to belittle my soul by making me hate him." And indeed, that very quote epitomizes the essence of who this man is. Despite lifting boulders and climbing mountains, it is his insistence to offer assistance to those who seek to climb alongside him that makes him absolutely legendary. When you associate yourself with good people, because Bad Company might be a good song, but I don't dance to the beat of those two words. This man has a heart so massive that even the King of Hearts is seeking some sort of rental agreement in his inner space. His ability to consider a problem from multiple angles and perspectives is a gift. This man is sharper and smarter than Google. When complimenting him, I'll never be frugal. Sitting under his learning tree, many easily become a pupil. The unbreakable records? Check. Many halls of fame? Check. Conquering every sport he's participated in? Check. Poetry? Check. Being the type of friend that is as rare as promises, guys and gals. Promises, which might be rare. Promises that run miles and miles. That's what kind of friend he is. He outruns promises because he's honest. Check. 2023 has been a fantastic year for yours truly. And this man has been there from day one. He's become a brother. And you all better be prepared to put on your shades because when he flashes a smile, he produces one hell of a spark. So give it up from Jersey to Denmark. Don't whisper, let's bark. And greet a legendary human being. Last name Henry, first name Mark. Mark Henry, welcome, my friend.
My man, I tell you what, everybody looks forward to their introductions. But I look forward to every time I come on, I get to see you because I know that something incredible is about to happen.
Yeah, and you're a part of that as well. You've made this place incredible, guys. Mark's been here since day one. We have a show called Lifting the Curtain that's going to debut as well. Mark, are you as well? Not many people know who the legends are in the back. Are you excited for this this incredible duo, these amazing legends who are about to grace us with their presence?
I'm super excited. One of which, when he cried, I cried. You know, I'm very, very rarely at a loss for words. Very rare. But if you mention the name of any Los Angeles Laker, I've been a fan since '79, and when they lost, I cried. Like that was my team.
Incredible.
So you know, I'm very excited.
And that particular legend is having some tech problems, guys, but we still have a packed field of incredible luminaries who are going to grace us with their presence, guys and gals, here on the Shank of New Year's Eve. Mark, I'm looking forward to bringing you back in, and some stimulating conversation is ahead, my friend.
Let's go.
Mark Henry, guys and gals, was one of the favorites to win this whole thing. You better believe that. Guys and gals, joys of the will, which labors, which overcomes obstacles, which knows triumph. And every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. Our first participant has captivated us, the masses, with his beautiful heart and sincerity. His range and depth are quite vast, and his outlook rather refreshing. His birth parents met in Hawaii, but his biological mother moved to San Diego while pregnant, and he entered the foster care system at birth. His life would inspire us all as he made a huge difference here on old planet Earth. At 9 months, he was adopted by a couple from Southern California, Francis, a homemaker, and the controller of a fishing company named Peter. Little would they know that their son would be so dominant in the 3 and also 20 meter. He started dance and acrobatics when he was 1.5. This was around 1962. Might as well pop the corkscrew because his passion to excel would overflow like boiling hot fondue. And here's a bit of a review. He began performing on stage when he was 3 and had to wait until he was 6 to compete. From that point on, everything would be a win. Gymnastics was his love, as he wanted to make the Olympic team, but that wouldn't happen, much to his chagrin. Outside San Diego, there simply wasn't a strong men's team, so at about 8 years old, in his backyard pool, he started trying some gymnastic stunts off the diving board. But how would his mom have reacted if he hurt himself? She'd be floored, but his passion could not be ignored. So she got him lessons, and after a year, the coach asked him, would you join the club? And although he wasn't interested in competition as he wasn't performing, when watching him live, we were all glad we held on to that ticket stub. At the age of 11, he found himself at the 1971 AAU Junior Olympics, and that event would prove to be quite pivotal. Two-time Olympic gold medalist Samuel Lee watched and realized that such talent was unequivocal. He decided to coach him to the Olympics, toughening him up and taught him how to dive in all kinds of weather. Sure, he was blessed with measurements and muscle competition, but hard work, rain or shine, is what brought it all together. Learning visualization at age 3, whether it was for diving, dancing, or gymnastics, helped him prepare. In 1976, attempting to prevent Klaus DiBiase from winning his 3rd Olympic gold medal was in the air. Why? Because he didn't want him to break his coach's record. Such loyalty is quite rare. Someone of a kind accolades, guys and gals, a man who has many accolades. How about being a 3-time Olympic diver who won a silver medal and 4 gold? Try to fathom this, because the man broke the mold, and all told, his inspiration rose out of the blue water to other areas in which we would behold a man that would even melt hearts that were turned cold. In addition, he won 47 U.S. National Diving Championships, and at the 1982 World Championships, something would happen that would never occur again. He became the first diver in a major international meet to receive, from all 7 judges, a perfect 10. He was also the first diver to receive more than 700 points in a diving competition and still holds that honor today. Famously, he hit his head during a dive in the 1988 Games in Seoul, but came back to win gold when all looked grim and gray. How did he push through? His coach, Ron O'Brien, said, you don't have to go back. You have an incredible record. Whatever you decide, I'm behind you 100%. But his knee-jerk reaction was, we worked too long and hard to get here. I'm going to fight, and away he went. As he once again, guys and gals, we witnessed his ascent, as he would cement his legacy through sheer dedication and will, as he would never relent or remain content. His coach, Ron, devised goals for him like breaking 700 points on the 3-meter springboard and the 10-meter platform in the scoring system they had. To achieve that, you couldn't look to the side and say, I have to beat that person. Nah, scratch that off the notepad. You have to have the balls to leave everybody behind. So as he became one of the most decorated Olympians in history, his purpose would become redefined. He supports, guys and gals, and has supported the Trevor Project, which is a 24/7 call-in hotline for gay and at-risk teens. He's an incredible storyteller, and his body of work on stage includes a plethora of honest and truthful scenes. The thing is, he's most proudest of is his book, Breaking the Surface, because it gave people the courage to fight ahead and dealing with HIV. So I think we could all agree that in this moment of glee, it's time to announce the name on the marquee. I know you're all waiting, so no need to ask, plea, or beg. Simply put your hands together for an inspirational legend of a human being. Last name Louganis, first name Greg. Greg, welcome, my friend.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing great.
God almighty. Did I miss anything, Greg?
It wasn't 20 meters, it was 10 meters.
10 meters, 10 meters.
10 meter platform.
God almighty. I'm glad to have you here. Well, give me a break, Greg.
20 meters is what they do high diving at 20
Sure.
meters. The women dive 20 meters and the men dive 27 meters.
It's Greg Louganis. Everyone here is excited to see you. Greg, there is a lot of luminaries here from all walks of life, 75 Hall of Famers, Oscar, Grammy, Tony, Emmy Award winners that really enjoy these living room conversations and therefore want to win it all because of what this represents. Would you like to win the whole thing as well, Mr. Louganis?
Sure, yeah.
I love it.
I'm in it.
Greg Louganis, guys, I want to put you in the back. Bring in, guys and gals, our next participant who's a legend as well. And then Greg and myself and our next participant will be on screen with Fred, guys, and Mark Henry judging the back. One moment, Greg. Greg Louganis, guys, what a legend. He's such a great human being as well. So heartfelt. And we're going to be able to explore some topics here that hopefully have been unexplored before in the past when it comes to these two gentlemen. We can't change the direction of the wind, but we can adjust the sails to always reach our destination. Life every man holds dear, but the dear man holds honor far more precious, dear than life. Modest doubt is called the beacon of the wise. Confidence is preparation, and preparation begets play. Success is where preparation and opportunity meet. And our next participant, both literally and figuratively, has taken a blank canvas and filled it up with beauty because his expressions are wholehearted and authentic and honest. He's a remarkable and fascinating human being with layers of depth going several orders of magnitude deep. And he shared the intimate understanding of the self with a public audience. He was born on a rather dramatic night in Georgia back in 1941. Several things occurred that night that would stun just about anyone. Soon after his mother went into labor in the hospital, someone called looking for his father as lightning had struck their house and the chimney was on fire. All turned out well, but speaking of his parents, they were quite the thespians, as in the 30s they were members of the Peninsula Players Summer Theater program. It is important to put context to everything as I continue with this poetry slam. His father from Chicago was a film and TV star for over 55 years. His son, tonight's luminary, is a man that has excelled and deserves the cheers, as through consistent effort and tears, whether on set or on stage, expressing the word of Shakespeare. His mother was the daughter of a hunting companion of Theodore Roosevelt, William Peckham, and he grew up in Southern California, and his family spent a lot of time in Palm Springs. His paintbrush was always honest, whether he was portraying detective, leaders, or kings. There were events that he'd always go back to, like his childhood, dog hunter, in order to personalize. And although that story will bring tears to your eyes, the true prize is to realize that we make discoveries, not mistakes. He graduated from Los Angeles' Van Nuys High School, later earned 2 BA degrees from the University of California, Berkeley, before, and won a scholarship to Yale Drama School in 1964. He began his professional acting career that summer as his stock would soar, playing Marcellus and the player in Joseph Papp's production of Hamlet. His presence we could never ignore. Frustrated with what he considered an antiquated Yale curriculum, a move would occur across the pond. He moved to London, where he immersed himself in the world of the bard. Soon the audiences would respond. He was awarded a Fulbright scholarship and attended the London Academy of Music and Dramatics Art, lending himself to the title roles in Macbeth, Hamlet, Richard III, and Macbeth, where he led with his heart. He won Obies for his performance in Macbeth, Hamlet, and Long Day's Journey into Night. In 1969, he made his Broadway debut, playing Buffalo Bill, and he was just whetting his appetite. As it pertains to the latter, he received a Tony nomination for Best Actor, and regarding the LA Theater Works, he's a founding member. This incredible resume continues, even though we only have 24 hours left until the end of December. His first on-screen gig was in a TV show called Channing, and his first film appearance was in 1968's The Heart is a Lonely Hunter, back in 1968. And as I continue to narrate, his breakthrough role as Tully the Boxer came in the 1972 classic Fact City. He would continue to captivate audiences that would concentrate on a man that loved his craft and was obviously great. His television career is extensive, but his most famous television role has to be his stint as Detective Mike Hammer. For that, he was nominated for a Golden Globe as the layers were peeled back on a character that wasn't all glitz and glamour. He was added to the Theater Hall of Fame in 2015. He got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2019, and he was nominated for an Emmy and won a Golden Globe for 1984's Hemingway. For that portrayal, my good friend Mariel Hemingway, and I would gladly present him with a bouquet for being able to convey such truth worth watching at 3 a.m. or even as a matinee. He's even been described by the New York Times as the finest American classical actor since Barry Moore. His versatility leaves my jaw hanging on the floor, as he's excelled throughout the years in a wide array of dramatically different roles as we clamor for a man that respects this craft, something I adore. He won Obie Awards, and in 1994, in the Kentucky Cycle, he won the Helen Hayes Award and is one heck of a role. In 2000, the Shakespeare Theater in Washington, D.C. awarded him something that would make him feel professionally whole: the prestigious Millennium Recognition Award for his contributions to classic theater and his works on stage. He went on to star in films such as End of the Road, Brewster McCloud, and the award-winning American History X with a character that was filled with rage. Who could forget Judge Joy Bean, The Long Riders, Escape from L.A., and the fact that he's played the legendary character of Falstaff twice, 57 years in between? But what about his talents beyond the big and small screen? He's an incredibly talented musician, and scoring a motion picture would be something he'd greatly enjoy. He carries his keyboard everywhere he goes, as it truly gives him joy. He's played the title role in 2 separate productions of Hamlet, portrayed Richard Nixon in the U.S. traveling version of the play Frost Nixon, has had leads in both Death of a Salesman and The Crucible. I know for a fact that someone who enjoyed his work greatly was the late Bob Dole. But the measure of success is not how well you emulate such a role, so much as how you reveal what's going on in his soul. So whether it's playing gold, composing jazz, blues, ragtime, or more, his experience, kind heart, and ability to remain present is more valuable than a picnic on the beach. This I preach. I respect how he's able to teach. So as this heart concludes this portion of such a speech, let us welcome one of the all-time greats, a man whose class personified. First name Stacy, last name Keach. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you. My goodness. You said things about me that I don't even remember or knew about. Yeah. Thank you. It's a great honor to be here, and what a collection of wonderful personalities you have. I mean, that to me is that's part of the victory that I'm hoping to achieve down the road.
I appreciate that, my friend. But you, again, please take your roses, because you've really affected a lot of people, not just in front of the camera, but also as a teacher and helping people understand. I always tell my students as well, when it comes to acting. You can make discoveries, but not mistakes. And you've really been someone I've listened to a lot as a teacher. So thank you for all of the lessons you've taught, Mr. Keach.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And I love the message that you have on this show, the positive vibe that you are spreading throughout the land. And
thank you, sir. I appreciate that wholeheartedly, my friend. Yeah, I mean, if we can all get together and have a nice conversation, maybe all of a sudden we'll realize we're not that different after all. Mr. Stacy Keach, and let's bring in Mr. Greg Louganis right now, guys and gals. There they are, guys. Give them a hand because I know we're all virtual here. And remember, guys, little station identification, 53 plus pages. We just reached close to 8,000 subscribers just on YouTube, but we know 6-figure views on 53 pages total. YouTube, Facebook, millions is where we're streaming. We're killing it right now. Thank you guys for giving us this amazing, amazing platform. We're live every single Saturday night, 3 different luminaries for a year live doing this, and we appreciate all of you for watching. And guys, please give it up for Stacy and Greg. Lengthy intro. There's a lot of great energy here, and here they are live giving us their time. We'll start with topic number 1, and I will zip the lip momentarily and go backstage. Topic number 1 is called something I call Happy Birthday History, because gift giving is one of the best and most efficient ways to show love and gratitude. And many things can be done when we present a nice and suitable gift. Maybe to charm and entice for the one you're in love with, to make peace with someone you had a fight with, or even to win a battle with someone you're in war with. People refer, guys and gals, to gifts as the warm glow. It's this intrinsic delight in doing something for someone else. It reminds us of our shared humanity and the importance of fostering connections in an ever-changing world. But what about historical figures? They need gifts. What about world leaders, legendary athletes, scholars, and physics, playwrights, storytellers, healers, doctors, luminaries? They might have been so busy inspiring others that the last thing on their mind was their very own birthday. What would the ideal birthday gift for them be and why? Mr. Keach, whenever he is ready, and Mr. Louganis, when he's ready, we'll start with Mr. Keach. Mr. Keach, what would be the perfect birthday gift to offer a historical figure of your choice? And who have you selected and why? And guys, of course, Mr. Keach will let us know the gift as well. And Mr. Keach, take as much time as you would like, good sir. Are you ready to go? We might have a little bit of a tech issue with Mr. Keach. Okay, that's okay. He'll sign back in. Mr. Louganis, really the same question for you, my friend. There you go.
Sure. All right, but my dog.
No problem.
Okay,
no
so
problem.
the person that I chose was Saint Francis of Assisi, who's the patron saint of animals. I'm a huge animal lover, and the gift that I would give, I love experiences. And that is something that, nobody can take away. It's something that, you carry with you the rest of your life. And my thought was a skydive with St. Francis to see who might join us on the skydive.
I think that's excellent. And what inspired you to kind of go ahead and go that route, Mr. Greg Louganis?
You know what? I love animals. Obviously, I mean, I have my 2 dogs here. They're kind of going nuts because there's something going on the other side of the door. But I just love animals and communicating with them. And so that is really, St. Francis. I mean, the things that, that I've read about him, I'd really love to learn from him, because I learned by example, I learned by observing more than reading, because I'm dyslexic. And so, to have that experience, that's something that I would really treasure.
Well, I mean, when you were in grade school, you hated reading in front of other people because of the mistakes, but you would take the book home, you'd memorize a few paragraphs, and then you'd volunteer to read those paragraphs because they were memorized, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's
I
incredible.
mean, that was like one of the tricks that I did.
Yeah.
But the teacher didn't always call me when I raised my hands. So,
Sure.
But I also, when I started school, I stuttered. So I was in speech therapy and all that. And that's the reason why the dance and acrobatics and diving, I could show people that that's how I communicated. I didn't use words growing up. I didn't use a whole lot of words. I didn't know that I stuttered until I started school.
Oh, wow.
So.
Wow. And also the dyslexia was misdiagnosed as a learning disability, so that didn't help either.
Well, I didn't learn about dyslexia until I was given dyslexia as a vocabulary word in my freshman English class. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not all the names that the kids were calling me on the playground. I wasn't, I wasn't stupid. I was dyslexic. It was a recognition. Sure. And I was like, oh my God, I'm dyslexic. So it gave me, and also the other thing that I learned, I went to lab school, which works with kids with learning differences. And sure. That's what I learned. It's LD is learning difference. You learn differently because everybody can learn. It's just we learn differently and connect differently to information.
No, that's inspiring. It really is. You persevered in so many different ways. And speaking of persevered, I want to bring in someone who is a dear friend of mine as well. Hey, who are we talking to right now?
This is G.
This is G.
This is G.
G's rooting for you right now. That's what's going on. G's rooting for you.
He is.
He's rooting for G. Why not? Listen, loyalty, man. That's a good thing. Good thing. Guys, speaking of loyalty, Stacy Keach, very good friend, also very loyal human being. He's trying to sign back in. We saw how excited he was. He's having some tech issues. That makes it, this has never happened. That makes 3 individuals we've had that have had tech issues all week. But you know what? That's fine because we're live and we're going to thrive and we're going to take a deep dive and learn from one another. And why not take a deep dive and bring in my good friend, Mark Henry? When I spoke to Mark on the phone the other day, he remembers you, of course, from that 92 team. Mr. Henry, Mr. Louganis, how long has it been?
It's been a long time.
You were at the 92 games?
I was the 92 weightlifting captain.
Okay, yeah. Because I was there with Good Morning America. Down in Verona.
I did a show with you with Katie Couric. And,
okay, yeah.
I didn't like her very much. She was very aggressive. But I liked you. You were one of the classy people, and I found out just now something that I didn't know that I think that you and I should get together and work on in the future. I was a dyslexic, and I wasn't recognized until the 9th grade. And I got called stupid, and I got called a retard, and I got called all these lazy, all these names that you got called. And on the other side of the country, going through the same thing. And I always feel like, God puts us in line with people that, can validate what we're saying, but also can help other people through our dismay. And if you down, I'm down to doing something with one of the existing charities that deal with this, help fighting dyslexia, and getting.
And it really is. It's a learning difference. So and that's one thing that because I did a one-man show in New York, and that's a lot of pages of dialogue that I had to memorize and all that. And what I learned. How I learned was I would read the script after into a recorder and listen to it because I couldn't pull the words off the page. And so if I listened to it, I could get the stories as actors were storytellers. So I could get the stories in line. And after every third rehearsal, because the timing changed and the characters are evolving, and so after every third rehearsal and working with the director, I would re-record it and then listen to the dialogue because I could grasp it that way, because it was really hard to pull those words off the page.
Did they ever call you a liar? Because I could figure out mathematical equations in my head, but I couldn't write the steps. I couldn't write the steps down, and they were like, "Well, how did you get this answer?" And I was like, "I did it in my head," and they would call bullshit every time. And I would be like, "No, I'm dead serious. I did it." And they said, "Okay, we'll do it." And then I would do it, and then they would still penalize me for not doing the step. So, like, if it was not for one particular student teacher that had just studied what dyslexia was and was doing her entry teaching at my school, I would have never got help.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
It was one person.
Right. I mean, I was really lucky because my 6th grade teacher, Mrs. Hepler, we're still in touch, and she allowed me to do my report orally. So because she knew that I was struggling, and so, but we never.
Is that the same teacher that's not the same teacher that emailed you a few years back and said, "Hey, you were the quiet one, I remember." Is that the same teacher?
It could have been. Yeah.
It might have been. It might have been the same one.
Yeah.
I want to bring this in as well, guys. I want to bring in Mr. Fred Ottman as well. Guys, Stacy's going to sign in a couple of minutes. And even our third mystery guest is working on his tech, and that might even clear up. So there we go. We're having an amazing organic conversation. And based on numbers we're seeing here, you guys, again, are enjoying this because it is organic. Mr. Fred Ottman, you got a chance to meet Greg in the back before the show.
Yes. And like I said, big fan. And it's so interesting to listen, to this backstory about you growing up. And I never knew that about you either, Mark, having the dyslexia, and I've come across, people that were friends of mine that were that way, that just, like Mark was talking about, they always wanted you to show your work, and, on, as far as math goes and stuff like that, and to take in, this type of deal, what I'm saying? The answer is there, but they don't want to take your word for it.
And I'm guilty of that because when I taught history, I was guilty of that. There were some times where I'm thinking, oh, is this student being lazy? They're being a wise ass, and they're not. They're keeping, and sometimes the facade comes out in a humorous fashion because they're trying to protect their own identity. They're trying to make sure that, they're putting up that front so they don't get bullied or harassed. Man, I love what Greg said. This is a quote from Greg, which I want to bring up. Maybe it all resonates with us because I know it resonates with me. Have a plan, Greg says, but you have to be patient. And when it comes to anything I do, this subscribes to me. Greg, you said we're so conditioned to think that our lives revolve around the quadrennial and competitions that keep us on track. But you could be on a project for 10 years and then finally see it come to fruition in the 11th year. So why set timetables for you when you're passionate about something, right? At the end of the day, your passion is a marathon. Your passion's not going to stop running. Your passion is only going to stop running if it was never a passion to begin with. And I think that's really the enduring legacy of all three of you gentlemen, is you were passionate about something, but you never stopped being passionate. Like the moment, Mark, when one of your careers ended, it's not like you just said, let me hang up my life. Let me put my life in the closet. I'm going to keep living and keep aspiring to inspire. And that's what you do.
Yeah, I definitely felt that way. You, Greg?
Yeah. Okay. So when I retired from diving, when you're an elite athlete, and you're dedicating so much time and energy into this, sport or whatever endeavor, when you walk away, it's almost like a death. You go through a grief process, and there was all the Olympians that I work with, I always tell them to be aware of the post-Olympic blues, because it's just like competing at the Olympics is such a high. And, after a high, expect some pretty low lows. And also, the highest rate of suicides is amongst Olympic silver medalists, which makes sense if you think about it. And that was my first experience at the Olympics. I was a silver medalist. And yes, I tried to commit suicide. It was just because I didn't understand why everybody was celebrating me because, I second place, you're the first loser,
Hiding behind a smile.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. The
And
thing with that too.
back in those days, it's just like you're not sick. You're get out there. Suck it up. Be a man. So it's like it's hard. You've got to, and to have the ability to open up, and that's what I share my story with the kids, and so that they know that I'm a safe place, that you can come to me. We can talk this out. We can talk through this.
It's one of those things that, you're in being an athlete, you're constantly pushing yourself striving to do better and better and better. And like, whenever it is that you decide that it's time to retire, what do I do now? You have to keep your mind and your body occupied and busy,
I was diagnosed HIV positive 6 months prior to the Olympic Games. And so I didn't think I would see 30. I was 28 at my last Olympic Games. And usually when you were diagnosed back in those days, they said, get your affairs in order. You probably have 2 years to live.
Yeah.
So I didn't think I would see 30. And now here I am, 63, which is amazing.
I'll tell you right now, when I heard that news, it just hurt me, hurt my soul. You and Irvin Johnson, I know that I shed tears because, like, I knew y'all and I've been places, and it just hurt that, like, oh man, I'm gonna lose somebody. And like, I'm sure that there's a lot of fans out there that they remember the Wheaties box. They remember all the commercials. They remember seeing you speak on all the Good Morning Americas and the shows, and you always put on a good face. Like, it was always happy and encouraging reaction from you. And that the thought of losing that, made a lot of Americans really, really sad to see you still here and thriving and living your best life is, man, it's just beautiful.
Yeah. And it's beautiful because it's also so honest, Greg. I concur with Mark, because sometimes depression is a body needing deep rest from putting on an act, and you don't put on an act. And that's what depression could be sometimes. Sometimes our elation is other people's devastation, and I hate that, because we shouldn't find comfort in other people's misery. We shouldn't. But we're seeing that today, and it's through your stories and Mark's and Fred's that people are feeling rather great about inspiring other people, because when you wrote your book, you told me that's one of the greatest things, is to have people tell you you've made a difference, because it gave them courage to fight ahead dealing with HIV, Greg.
Right. I mean, when I was diagnosed, it was 6 months prior to the Olympic Games, and that was such a blessing. It was such a blessing because I had diving to focus on. It was something positive. So many of my friends back during that time, if they were diagnosed HIV positive, then they got obsessed with the disease, with the virus, what drugs are coming down the line, what are my numbers and all that. I was focused on continuing being in training and getting to the pool, working out, showing up. And so that was the focus for me. So I had something positive to focus on. I think that was what really has helped keep me alive.
There's no doubt about it. Fred, sometimes people say when you avoid a fight, it's a mark of honor. When you avoid a fight, do you feel like right now people are not avoiding as many fights because essentially it's easier to do this on a keyboard? Everyone's that keyboard warrior, right? So are we fighting a different fight in 2023 into 2024?
Yeah, I'm good, Tim.
It's, they're all armchair, politicians, I guess, for a lighter word. It's so, we didn't have this back when I was young and coming up, even in the business and stuff like that. And it's so easy to throw stones when nobody can look you in the eye, nobody's face to face, and nobody has known what you've gone through as an individual, and you, like in your particular case there, taking a negative and putting it into a positive and going forward, and immersing yourself, and actually, instead of sitting home and dreading and that kind of deal. Yeah.
Well, when I wrote my book, Breaking the Surface, I felt like I was living on an island with barely, a phone for communication to the outside world, because that's what secrets do to you. Secrets isolate you. And so I felt so isolated, and I knew in my heart that I wasn't the only one. And so that's a reason why, in my head, I was thinking the truth shall set you free. The truth shall set you free. And so that was the reason why
I'm so glad you did that, because
yeah,
I think that a very good friend of mine used you as a example. He's the first openly gay wrestler to come out, Darren Young, as a wrestler, but his name is Fred Rosser. And like, Fred rode in the car with me, Greg, for 3 years and didn't tell me.
Yeah. It was scary. It was scary.
He was afraid of the hate that he might incur from our business, because you have these, for lack of a better term, superheroes that, didn't found weakness in crime, found weakness in anything that was not the Paul Bunyan manly man image. And I can go longer than you can. I can drive further than you can. It was always, everything is a competition. And at some point you have to be able to allow yourself to be a human. And you have to allow your emotions and your feelings to be shared with the people around you. And in wrestling, the number one thing that makes you a great wrestler is how you make people feel. Like, we're in an emotional theater business that requires incredible athleticism. So that was something that was ran from by all wrestlers. So when Fred came out, I remember talking to him, and he was like, man, I don't feel that way no more. I feel like there's so many people that are out that I could do it too. And we had that conversation after the fact, by the way. And I wish that more people that felt that way and could understand would do it. And I also wish that people weren't so damn judgmental about something that don't involve them. My mother used to tell us all the time, mind your damn business.
Yours too, huh?
Right? Yeah.
And I wish that people would mind their business. If it don't have nothing to do with you and you don't have nothing good to say, don't
say anything at all. That's it. Man. You got one finger pointing at you, they got three more pointing back at them.
Well, you know what? Sometimes there's even
learn to play well with others. You know what I'm saying? And don't be so judgmental.
Yeah,
but everyone's judgmental about everything these days.
Love instead of hate. Yeah.
You brought it up, Avi. You the one said that it's because of the finger pressing sin.
Yes.
And all of these people that are doing this internet hating, like if the government and the U.S. government made more penalties for people that did that, they stopped doing it because they wouldn't have a choice.
That's very true.
Like my son right now, had some really negative hate on social media because of greatness.
Oh wow, really?
He comes from a family. We got 5 people in my family won Super Bowls. Jacob comes from 3 Olympians in our family. We had since 1987. We had 14 kids in my family go to college because it was all sports driven. That was our way out. My mom never made more than $12,000 in a year. Wow. When I say poverty, I mean real American poverty.
That's incredible, man.
So the only sports was it. They didn't have no money to give you. There was no financial aid. My mom never took sustenance from the government. We never had food stamps.
Sure.
We never had nothing. It was like, work your ass off or nothing.
Wow.
That's why I'm who I am.
That's insane. But everyone today,
with talent. I had talent.
You know, I gotta tell you, everybody's fighting everybody for everything today. Sometimes peer pressure as an adult is just seeing your neighbor mow the lawn. Sometimes that's peer pressure. It's just
damn it, I gotta go mow my lawn too.
Yeah. Oh my
That's
God.
peer pressure, man. That's peer pressure today. You know, I don't know, man. People.
Yeah.
Hey, Greg.
I
You know, what about your
reprieve
dog? What about
needed
your
here.
dog G? Did your dog name you? Dogs name us too, right? They can name us.
Yeah.
What would they name us? Do they know our names?
G, we compete in dog agility.
Right.
So
Oh,
he's
wow.
he's got a lot of talent. You know, he's been in training. He just turned 3, and so we were just at the U.S. Open in Jacksonville, Florida. And so so I have high hopes for him to potentially make world team.
That's amazing.
Man, that's
wow,
awesome.
Look at that. Oh my God! I wish some of the people I knew were as ambitious as G over there. Guys and gals, again, Mr. Stacy Keach is about to sign in. He's had some technical issues, but he's working on it right now. God bless him. Guys, again, remember, don't ever ignore your problems. Teeth are the only problem where you ignore them, they'll go away. Everything else you can't ignore. So, guys and gals, let's. There we go. Our good friend Stacy Keach, guys and gals, is with us now. Stacy, my friend, guys and gals, again, is such an amazing human being that's going to join us here for this great conversation, Mr. Keach.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so sorry that I had that brief respite from your show. Wonderful show. And thank you for that introduction. My God.
Oh, no, please. It was my honor. My honor, my friend. And Stacy, again, Mark Henry and Fred Ottman were here. We had a great conversation with Mr. Greg Louganis.
Good.
Our first topic now, I'm going to kick it over to Mr. Keach as Mr. Ottman and Henry have the unenviable task of really trying to judge this thing, because really, essentially, this is going to be a living room conversation where we learn more about each other. So we're all winners, and that's what it's all about. Mr. Henry and Mr. Ottman, thank you both. We'll see them soon, guys, as they will be judging after topic 1. Thank you both for being who you are as well. And we learned so much about Greg as well. I want to know more about him. Greg, I got to ask you a question. Does it bother you when you meet people named Greg with 2 G's at the end of their first name?
Oh my God. No. Yeah, because G with 1 G, it's Greg. It's usually Gregory.
Right,
it's short for Gregory. So, and then to 2 G's, it's just Greg.
Guys and gals, this has been an amazing night already. And again, I'm going to kick it over to Mr. Stacy Keach. Mr. Keach, whenever you are ready, good sir, with your topic, can you hear us, Mr. Keach?
I can indeed.
Very good. And again, thank you for your time, my friend. Mr. Keach, whenever you're ready, the floor is yours, good sir, for topic number 1. Topic number 1.
What would I give a gift to a historical figure? Well, I belabor this a couple of ways because I've played so many different historical figures in my career. I've been very blessed to have done so. But I'm recently working on Thomas Jefferson. And I would like to give Thomas Jefferson a new wig because his old one doesn't flatter him very well. That's what I would do. I was thinking of the possibility of Ernest Hemingway. What would I give Ernest Hemingway? I certainly wouldn't give him a 5th wife, but I considered the possibility. No, I think the wig for Thomas Jefferson is my gift.
That's really incredible. That is really incredible. Wow. Yes, and of course, your portrayal of Richard Nixon was also very honest, Mr. Keach.
Well, thank you.
Extremely honest. Absolutely.
Yeah.
On stage, God Almighty. I hope really our younger audience, guys and gals, there's so much these gentlemen are teaching us, and we're learning, but we can have fun while we learn. That's why we dub this whole thing edutainment, guys and gals and pals. That was topic number 1. So right now, let's kick it over to our judges and see who resonated most with them and why. We'll start with Mr. Fred Ottman.
Oh, man. This is a little difficult here. But Mr. Keach with the wig reminds me of Austin Idol. He used to say, he ever touch his hair, he'd say, "Don't touch the wig.
Don't touch the
wig." I think that's good, but I learned so much from Greg and the conversation that transpired there information wise, and was more. It got more in depth about the beginnings of his life and where he, and why he did what he did, and with giving the parachuting, although I would find that unusual, but with what he's talking about his dog does, parachuting doesn't see too far out of the action. You know what I'm saying? He would be a little thrill seeker, and I can see St. Francis, floating down to earth, and the conversation while you're going down, other than screaming. So in this particular case, I think it would have to go with Greg on this one.
Thank you very much, Mr. Risitano. If you can jot that in the back, I'd appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Ottman. All right, guys and gals, again, the great Mark Henry.
Well, there's a lot of things I would give Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson needed some condoms. If I was going to give, I think I'm definitely going to have to go with Greg. I think that having a parachute makes you go slower. And I think that a lot of people in this world are moving too damn fast. And you don't have time to absorb the content that's coming in around you. I think a parachute, a lot of us need parachutes. We need to slow everything down to a crawl and be able to access it. And you will be able to access from 5,000 feet. And by the time you got to the ground, hopefully safely, that you would have all the answers by then. So I'm going to have to go with Greg.
Thank you, Mr. Henry, guys and gals. Mr. Mark Henry and, of course, Mr. Ottman are both also in round two. Mr. Keach, I want to ask you a question, good sir, if I can.
Sure.
There are a lot of students that I teach that are always talking about, hey, I don't feel a certain way, and I need to get to a certain place emotionally. And of course, we tell them to stay present. Of course, we tell them that personalization helps. But a lot of times people forget, Stacy, that there's great joyous moments in our life, that we experience bliss and happiness. And those events can sometimes awaken tears as well, can they not?
Absolutely. In fact, I think tears of joy are oftentimes more moving and more identifiable than tears of sorrow.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love that you said that, and I'm glad you agree with me on that, because maybe the one tool that some storytellers today are not using as much is subtext. Because is that something you found interesting when you crack open a script? There's this liberation and freedom about discovering subtext on your own as a storyteller.
Well, that's absolutely true, and a lot of times, as a young actor, particularly when I was looking for ways of expressing a certain term like love or hate, even,
Sure.
I tried to find as many different ways of expressing that as possible. And when I teach, I do the same thing. I say, how many different ways can you say, I love you? I love you. I love you. I mean, there's you can go on and on and on, but it's a way for actors to touch their hearts and their head at the same time.
That's so true.
There is a possibility of, I hear somebody. Sounds like my dog.
Well, that's G. That's Mr. Louganis' dog, G. Yeah, he's training. He's great. But I love that you brought that up, because even for our younger audiences, Rob Reiner had told me this once. I knew Carl, of course, well. Didn't know Rob well, but it's like when Harry met Sally. There was great subtext there, because when Harry's professing his love to Sally, he pauses for her to respond. She takes a beat, and she says, "I love you too, Harry." But the words she utters are about hate as she's saying love. And that's a great way of looking at it.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's really
there are many different ways to skin a cat. And I think one of the things that I look for is that when I'm directing, that I look for in an actor is the actor's ability to express the same term or express many different ways.
Absolutely.
Variety.
Do you feel like, Stacy, a lot of the actors also should, if the opportunity calls for it, they should ask maybe a director, how many takes do I have here, right? Because if you prep to play, and a lot of times people want to maybe on that third or fourth take improvise, but you want to get it right. You want to get it the way that the writer wants, the way the director wants. It's important to ask those questions as well, because that's part of the collaboration also.
Exactly. And I think it's important to establish that collaboration up front.
Yes.
A lot of times actors wait until they're in the midst of a scene before they, say what they have to say about the character or about the moment or about the director even. And I think that those things should, it's always good when people get together beforehand and discuss the event that they're about to. I had the great honor of working on Arthur Miller's last play. We did it in Chicago at the Goodman Theater. It was called Finishing the Picture. It was about the experience on the film that Marilyn Monroe did, The Misfits.
Yeah.
It was all about getting her out of the dressing room to shoot the movie.
Sure.
The play was about finishing the picture. It was an extraordinary experience, a wonderful cast of actors.
I love that.
Yeah, it was, and we wanted to take it to Broadway, and it needed just a touch more work. And then Arthur died.
Yeah. That is so incredible. I'm praying, guys. I never have any bias because I don't vote. I'm praying Mr. Greg Louganis and Stacy Keach both go to round 2 with a tie because I want to have a conversation with these two greats all night long. And I got to say this as well. One of my students said, well, I've never killed anybody before. How would I know what it's like to kill I said, have you ever killed a fly? He goes, yeah. I said, then you know the intent. You have the intent. The intent to do the deed is something you've experienced before. So there's no response that makes sense to me when someone says, I can't. Of course you can. Part of Stanislavski's first lesson is do. So,
exactly.
Guys and gals, this is an incredible night already because, again, Mr. Greg Louganis, Stacy Keach, Mark Henry, and Fred Ottman are here giving us their wisdom and experience. I'm going to bring in our other judges, guys, and topic number 2 is going to roll around right here. Mr. Joe Rossitano, who do you vote for and why? Good sir.
Actually, I want to vote for Stacy Keach on this one because that caught me very much off guard, and not only that, but the consideration put into the gift. That is why I give my vote to Stacy on this one.
Got it. Okay. Guys, thank you, Joe. Mark Henry just texted me. For those that are in the know, a lot of people do know, he's on a pay-per-view that gets millions of people that watch it on AEW. That's usually on TNT. He's producing his next match. Mark, if you heard, he was in the locker room. So Mark did this on location, so we give him a lot of gratitude for that. Thank you, Mr. Henry. Guys, let's bring in Mr. Pete Sharpie. Mr. Pete, who do you vote for and why, good sir?
Hey, everyone. I mean, it's a tough one. It is a tough one. And I'm with Joe on this one because Stacy Keach threw me off with that, giving a gift to Thomas a wig. And I even had to Google it to see what he was wearing. And I'm like, holy crap, this man needs a new wig. So, that's the perfect gift.
Thank you so much, Pete. We appreciate that. And now, guys, we turn it over to you because really, you're the engine that makes this thing go in the comment section. Of course, this is not easy, but who resonated with you most? We're all winners. We know that because, once again, we're learning and laughing, and that's what it's all about. Alex votes for Mr. Keach. Thank you so much. Jim Baggs concurs. Thank you, Jim. We appreciate that. I won't count all of these because it'll be 2025 if I do. Let's count the ones that I can right now. And pull up, and before we move over to topic number 2 and transition over to that amazing topic that Mr. Keach and Mr. Greg Louganis will bestow upon us, their mind and heart. Okay, I think a few more votes here coming in, guys. We have Lester voting for Greg. Okay, McKenna voting for Mr. Keach. Bruce, I see your vote over here, voting for Greg. Okay, thank you so much. Got that. Totally vote for Greg. Awesome. I vote for Greg Louganis. Okay, Julie. And Jeff Reeder concurs also. Same thing. Randy votes for Mr. Keach, as does John Carlson. It'd be nice to win this whole thing, guys, because, as far as what this stands for, let's keep this thing going. Let's keep round 2, 3, 4, and 5 of this tournament going until 2030. Why not? Because we want to put good out to the world. Voting for Greg. Okay, Alexander concurs, and so does Q Cuts. And one more for Stacy. And Tiara, okay. Stacy has great movies, without question. Thank you, Tiara, for that nice comment. We appreciate that. Mr. Collado, I'm going to go with Mr. Keach. I love the humor in his reply. Thank you for noticing that. Appreciate your attentiveness as well, Mr. Howard. Greg gets my vote. Stacy gets my vote. Okay, I vote Mr. Keach. Guys, I'm not going to count all of your votes because we're going to move on to round 2. Alex, thank you for your vote. Got that. And Brian, I got yours. Thank you so much. Okay, you guys have some great comments in the comment section. If I haven't told you guys, all of our viewers, you're very intelligent as well. We appreciate your time and allowing us into your living room on a Saturday night. So, guys, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. You know there's a 5 and a 4 and a 3 and a 2 and a 1. Then there's a 0. So, with that, guys, topic number 2 is upon us. Most satisfying movie, TV, or play ending. While a captivating opening to a movie or a TV series or play can make for a key element throughout its runtime, playing a huge role in keeping audiences interested and intrigued is a well-crafted finale. It's really important. Leaving an audience in complete and utter state of satisfaction is no easy feat, even for the most talented of filmmakers. What happened to that term that we lost so much? Motion pictures. Let's bring that term back. There's no rule or book or proven formula to follow when it comes to crafting a perfect finale, but the most enjoyable endings are usually the ones that are earned. Guys and gals, Mr. Greg Louganis now will start this thing off, and he'll explain why he selected either a movie or TV or series or a play as his favorite ending of all time, and then Mr. Keach will follow suit as well. Mr. Louganis, are you ready to go, good sir?
Sure. The classic, I would have to say it's A Wonderful Life. And especially, during the season and all that stuff. So it's A Wonderful Life. But contemporary, I have to say Sing 2. I loved that ending. It just focused on Rosita getting the courage to jump off that platform, and Clay Calloway coming in and gaining the courage. It's all about courage, gaining the courage to sing in front of the audience once he hears the audience singing his legendary song. So I thought that was, it brought tears to my eyes. So.
No, it was actually very emotional. When's the last time you've seen it? Do you know, around roughly, I guess?
Sing 2 or It's a Wonderful Life?
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. During Christmas, sure. Just last week.
That's incredible. Yeah. Let me ask you this, Greg. Are there movies that no matter what, you watch them, they pop up on cable television, they're on a streaming service, wherever they are, you're at a friend's house, and no matter what, it could be maybe the story arc already has changed in the middle of the portion of the film, and you're still locked in. Do you have those kinds of movies that no matter when you're watching it, the 30-minute mark, 50-minute mark, you're right there locked in?
I was a huge Harry Potter fan.
Yeah.
So I followed that series, that and the Hunger Games.
I love that.
Those I can, go on, rewatch those time and time again. They kind of keep me engaged.
I love that before your very first performance, when you were a kid, you had tech and dress rehearsals and you wore a little tux with a top and a cane, but your teacher knew that if you had to do the routine over and over, you'd be too fatigued to perform that night. So she put you in the studio, played the music, and said, imagine yourself doing the routine. And even though it took about 4 times, it was completely fluid, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was my instructor. I was 3 years old. She put the music on. Wow. She said, do the routine fluid.
Sure.
And so, even at 3, I could move the needle. I can, redo it. So yeah, it took 4 times and then I made it fluid. Funny thing is, once I made it fluid, I went and found her.
Sure.
And I said, okay, I made it fluid. She came back into the studio, increased the tempo.
Oh.
So it was faster than what I was going to be performing. And she said, make it fluid.
Ooh, yeah.
And I was able to do it, so
but you took that tool into everything, right? Dancing, gymnastics, diving. That's how you prepared.
Yeah. And also, to make it, when you're in a performance, then you have to, the visualization has to be at speed or faster.
Sure.
And that's where I learned, because then if it's faster, you can anticipate.
Makes sense. And Mr. Keach, you would agree, right, that there's a difference between a huge difference between speed, rate, pace, and tempo. There is a difference between all 4.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes. Well, I'm fascinated with Greg's response. So I think that, yeah.
Me too. What a great storyteller Greg is as well, Mr. Stacy Keach. And work he's done on stage is absolutely incredible. And that's what we're learning, guys. So we're not just going to be put in a box. We're not just a diver or just an actor. We are multifaceted, and we're learning that tonight. And that speaks to me. Mr. Keach,
Yes.
please, if you can, good sir, explain why you've selected Blank as the most satisfying movie, TV series, or play ending of all time, and why, whenever you are ready, good sir.
I will just. I have two. I have one play ending. Hamlet. For me, Hamlet is the last line, or close to the last line of that play. At the end of the play, the rest is silence. Is a very earth-shattering expression of the end of our lives. Now, even though that was what, and I played Hamlet 3 different times, 3 different productions. But the problem I used to have after this tremendous duel that he has at the end of, and then finally killing Claudius, and there's bodies all over the stage. The problem for the actor is when he's lying dead, not to breathe heavily, so that the audience can say, he's breathing, he's breathing. The rest is not silence. The rest is noisy. You've got to be quiet. So I had to learn to really make an adjustment with my body physically to take a deep breath and not expend so much energy toward the end of the fight. It took 3 productions for me to finally learn. I think I finally got it on closing night of the last production we did. From a movie's point of view, for me, the perfect ending is Orson Welles' Citizen Kane. Rosebud. I always loved that ending. Rose. And it's so provocative. What does that mean? And of course, it raises the question that causes you to, and your curiosity, to go back and look at the movie again. That's me.
Wow. Two amazing. Wow. And you know what? When you brought up Hamlet, the scene that always or I should say the line of dialogue that always gets me every time I read it, Claudius is crying out for help.
Yeah.
It's right. And Hamlet is in a fury, and he runs Claudius through with the poisoned sword and forces him to drink down the rest of the poisoned wine. And it's such a powerful scene. It's such a powerful scene. And of course, the line of "Flights of angels sing thee to thy rest" is another powerful line of dialogue. And guys and gals, we know there's a lot of thespians watching. Do not be afraid of iambic pentameter. It is your friend. Trust us. So, thank you so much, Mr. Keach, again, for giving us your wisdom. Really, from the heart, just sitting under your learning tree is incredible. And I know that our viewers and our judges feel the same way. Joe Rositano, luckily, I don't have to judge. That's when my hair is in place right now. I'm not sweating. You do. So, Mr. Rositano, come on down.
Oh my goodness. So for this one, I'm going. It's so hard. There's so many different ones because Rosebud is such a classic ending, and it's very. I can't go into it because it's very telling. But I also very much loved Greg's because I hadn't gotten to finish that film. / also I appreciated the talks on plays as well, so we're going multiple layers with that. But for this, I am going to go with Greg because I wondered how the ending would pan out, but also it helps to know that someone is able to conquer their fear, not just the one that is also the very big that I can't get into, but yes, the specific ending. So my vote goes to you, Greg.
Conquering a fear, though, moment to moment, you mean, right? Because moments are a collection, right? They're not exactly permanent. Conquering a fear, and then what, right? What's that next moment bring? That I thank you for your analysis, Joe Rositano. We do. Mr. Fred Ottman.
Yes, both of them incredible presentations. Mr. Louganis, first of all, you speaking about these 2 movies so intelligently and with such feeling. I was listening. I was on like every word that you said. And then Mr. Keach, when you started talking about controlling your breath after doing the play so many times and putting, you know, making the audience is watching, and they're watching movements, they're watching the whole deal, you know, and putting your whole body and controlling yourself to do the best job that you can do, even if it's lying there as a dead body.
Yeah.
Present it that way. And then Citizen Kane, say no more. I'm a big fan of the movie, and like you said, the end, Rosebud.
Yeah.
I mean, incredible. In this particular case, I think I'll have to go with Mr. Stacy Keach. You know,
Mr. Keach, sure. Thank you so much. And guys and gals, Mr. Stacy Keach also both conducts and can play the piano, and was a featured backup singer on several hit Judy Collins songs as well.
Wow,
well,
that's
backup singer, not really. No, no.
I know you're going to be humble and not accept that, but really composing a film, that is something that you're very passionate about, right, Stacy?
Well, I love music. I started playing when I was about 12 or 13 years old.
Sure.
And I've always loved the piano.
Sure.
And unfortunately, you know, some years ago I had some physical problems. I had a stroke, and my right hand is no longer functioning the way a right-handed piano player needs to function.
So sorry to hear that.
To play blues. But I'm working on trying to get back to it, but I can still play with two fingers. I was told once that Hans Zimmer only composes with one finger.
Isn't that something?
And I don't know if it's true or not, but it's a fascinating story.
And it's inspirational if that's the case.
I love his composition. Wow. Great.
I'd like to believe that it is actually. Wow, that is really inspirational if it is.
Yeah.
Mr. Ottman, thank you so much, sir. We have one more topic to go. And guys, let's bring in Mr. Pete Sharpie.
Wow, it was like a wide variety of different movies there from A Wonderful Life, Sing 2, Hamlet, you know, a classic story, Citizen Kane. But Sing 2, I mean, you watch a kid's movie, you're not thinking about the message, but you know, Greg, you're absolutely correct. There's a message in the movie of overcoming your fears, and I can't do that. You'll never see me go on stage doing that. But my vote goes to you, Greg.
Until you do. Thank you, Pete. We appreciate that. All right, guys. We're going to take your votes now, guys. And then our third topic, and we will find out how things are. If I look at the tally, it's extremely close. So hopefully you guys are listening, and we haven't had many ties, but hopefully we have one tonight. Let's see what happens. All right, guys and gals and pals, your votes are coming in right now live. So let me count what they are and move on to our final topic. Mr. Keach and Mr. Louganis have different questions in their thought-provoking topics for our third and final. We have Lester Cook voting for Stacy and Mrs. Brown voting for Greg. Thank you. Shaquila Daniels also voting for Greg. And guys, thank you for the nice words here regarding your thoughts of Greg's work and Stacy's work and contributions. We're reading that. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. McKenna votes for Greg on this one. 2 great answers. Okay, Stacy. All right. I'm going to tally this again. Mr. Morgan. Stacy has my vote. Thank you. Phil Donahue. Going to have to go with Stacy on this one. Thank you, Phil. Mindy votes for Stacy. Okay. And we have a couple more votes coming down the pike right now, guys and gals and pals, as I work that old index finger here. Give me a second here, because this is not something we were raised on, working the old keyboard as kids. I know that. Alex votes for Mr. Keach. Thank you, Sheila Chatelaine, voting for Stacy as well. And Chantel concurs. Thank you so much. Okay, Jeff Reeder, thank you. Monique Michelle, Mr. Greg Louganis, thank you. Tiara, Stacy again, appreciate that. Guys, I'm going to count this down. If I missed yours, then you can vote on the next round. John voting for Stacy, thank you. And Ed also voting for Stacy, a very interesting man. Thank you for that. Alexander voting for Stacy, and Bruce voting for Greg. Very, very close indeed. Thank you, Julie, for voting as well, voting for Stacy Keach. We also have an interesting vote here that is not coming up through Facebook that I have to bring up because this is really cool. Mr. Richard Klein. We've worked with Richard Klein before who's watching, so thank you for watching us, Mr. Klein. A lot of the luminaries who watch the show also love voting, so thank you guys for watching as well, including a very infamous boxer, one of the greatest middleweights of all time, who will be here in a few weeks. Guys, I'm going to count this thing down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. You know there's a 5 and a 4 and a 3, then there's a 2 and a 1 and a 0. So with that, guys, topic number 2 is over. It's behind us. And now, topic number 3, thought-provoking questions. Because to know thyself, how well do you know yourself? You know, besides your favorite food and the type of music that gets you going, you're not boring. So get to know thyself. It's what you're thinking that gets in the way. So stop. You're not. Hear me out, because you've got a lot going underneath your skin that you can imagine. Whatever you think you know about yourself, there's always another layer waiting for you to peel back and discover a new dimension. You might just haven't realized it just yet. So right now, tonight, guys and gals, an interesting question for Stacy Keach and Greg Louganis. We'll start off, guys and gals, with Mr. Stacy Keach. His question is, what truth do you need to know? What truth do you need to know? And when Mr. Keach is, of course, finished, Mr. Greg Louganis' question is, what is your focus word, and how does it embody your intention for the coming year? Mr. Keach, are you ready to go, good sir?
Truth, for me, the most important truth is what's in your heart. I think that reveals everything that is important. Because if you, I'm assuming or presuming that you have a truthful heart, or you have a heart that has integrity. I was thinking the other day, I was asked a question about scientific formulas. And is there any scientific formula that really catapults you into the now in a different way? And I think, you know, we've been talking so much about artificial intelligence. It was a big issue in our recent strike with the actors and the writers, and it's a huge issue anyway. And for me, I'm fascinated with it, because I think that ultimately machines are going to be our muscle, and we hope that they're going to be, you know, that their truth is the truth that we imbue in them, to be kind, to be civil, to be respectful of one another, and one another as machines even. This is a tall order, and even I may be very naive, and it may be just impossible to achieve. But I think it's the alternative of if machines, you know, we don't want Terminator kind of environments. So, but getting back to the original, what is truth? The important truth is what's right here, what's right there.
Thank you for sharing your heart and mind, Mr. Keach. Thank you. It means a lot. And guys, it's to Michael who's asking. We've had 162 topics. It's been a joy conceptualizing and writing these topics for a year. There's always going to be different topics, so we can learn more about one another. And Mr. Keach, what you said, I would like to respond to that. I love what you said, because a lot of people say that life is happening to them, but it's happening for them. There's a big difference. It's not happening to them. It's happening for them. And I really think that when someone can wake up and realize that they're the universe, they don't have to reach for the stars. And we could find that. We can discover that if we take our time to love ourselves. So I really appreciate that. Truth is a good start towards self-love. Mr. Greg Louganis, what would be your focus word, and how does it embody your intention for the coming year?
Well, when you asked what my focus word is, what came to mind is my coach, Ron O'Brien. In high stress situations, what he would do is he'd say mellow, you know, it's kind of kind of like a hypnotize a mellow. And what that means to me is, is patience and calm. And so I think that is something that I can tap into, to be patient and calm, give ourselves grace, that, we're judge ourselves so harshly, and just giving ourselves the love and the grace and patience. So that's my focus word for the
wow
year.
I love that. Love that.
Bravo.
Yeah, because I mean, we are in our own heads, and peer pressure,
right?
And perception, a different version of us exists in the minds of everyone we know anyway. So why don't we just all let it go? It's easier to just let it go. Yeah. Guys, that's it. 3 topics. We're going to find out patience. Thank you, Tiara, for your comment there. Mr. Stacy Keach and Mr. Greg Louganis. We're going to find out who moves on to round number 2 right now. Let's bring in the great and amazing friend himself, Fred Ottman.
Yes. I love both of your answers. And really, they both could be combined together to work as together, because in my life, I try to stay away from all the drama, from outside sources and that. And I like both of those. Heart is, to me, very, very important, and in your answer, Greg, also was amazing. And but in this particular case, for me, I would have to go with Mr. Keach, because heart, spread some of that love and maybe do away with a lot of other bad things that are around. And going into a new year, it'll definitely help, especially with the tide of things that's about around us right now, in the world.
And Fred, you would agree that it's the application of knowledge that really helps, right?
Oh, I believe so. I believe sometimes there's too much knowledge out there, and you don't know if it's correct knowledge or not. The stuff that they're pandering to the masses, and so many people are guilty of being like lemmings, and just hooking on to the first thing that comes down the line, and instead of listening to, there's one person's side, another person's side, and somewhere in between lies the truth.
Right. Well, Mr. Fred Ottman, guys and gals, thank you, my friend, and thank you for sharing your thoughts and your heart and your soul. You're such an amazing part of this family, and I want to tell you that. Love you, man. I can't wait for 2024.
Me too.
Mr. Fred Ottman, guys and gals. Pete Sharpie, let's bring you down here. Why do you have your shades on? I took my shades off. Take your shades off, Pete. Let's see those eyes.
Let's see. There we go.
There we go.
Just for you 3, they're coming off.
Yeah, handsome devil. Keep them off. There you go.
All right, so this is it's tough, because I want to see you both move on to the next round, because this has been a great evening, and to get back to the topic, what's in your heart, it's profound. It is, and you can actually Fred hit it on the head. Blending mellow and patience into it, and unfortunately, in a lot of people, their hearts aren't so great. But if people were mellow and had patience in life, maybe things will be up on the up in this world, and things will be a lot better. So my vote goes for Greg.
Thank you, Pete. Appreciate that, Mr.
Thank you,
Sharpie.
gentlemen. It's been a fun night.
Thank you. You look very spiffy. I like that tie. I want that tie. Joe Rositano.
So I will cut to it and say that my vote also goes for Greg, because not only just in life, it is something that is important to keep an even keel, especially with what Mr. Keach mentioned with the future and the more heartless way that people are dealing with things. It's best to keep that balance, and without balance, you can't restore yourself or be even able to be something to give life to others. So my vote goes to you.
Thank you, Joe. Give it up for the judges. Thank you, judges. Thank you so much again for sharing your hearts. Guys, now it's up to you, and then we're going to find out. We'll move on to this incredible living room style conversation tournament where we do learn about things that matter. So let's see your votes. We have a couple trickling down the pike now. Okay, first one I see is, is it from Julie? Yeah. I need to learn better how to have patience. So my vote goes to Greg. Thank you, Julie Hall. Appreciate your vote. All right, we have more coming down the pike. Greg, okay, and Mrs. Brown agrees. Okay. Mindy votes for Stacy, and McKenna votes for Greg. Chad is voting for Mr. Stacy Keach. Thank you so much. Monique Michelle votes for Greg, and John concurs. So does Michael. Okay, it's a trifecta. Diana makes it 4 for Greg. Shaquila Daniels votes Stacy. Awesome round indeed of stimulating conversation. Rita votes for Greg, while Randy votes for Stacy. This thing is real close. I'm looking at the private chat, 38-37. This thing is real close. It's right there. Thank you, Joe Rositano, who's judging and tallying. Thank you for that. I would not be able to do that. Ed votes for Greg. All right, thank you. Appreciate that. And Alexander agrees as well. Thank you for your vote, Alexander. Won't be able to get all of these, so bear with me. Julie votes for Stacy. Appreciate that. This is real close. Okay. We have a couple more votes, guys, and then we're going to call it. Jeff Reeder Jr. votes for Stacy. Okay. I think we're at 41-40 at this point. This is real close. All right, guys, I'm going to count this thing down in about 10 seconds. 1 point differential here. It's a lot of fun. Trip for two to Greece is on the line as well. This is fun. All right, let's see what else we have. I'm going to start counting down. Tracy votes for Stacy. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Jane votes for Stacy, so it's tied. 6, 5, 4, 3, and a 2 and a 1. Guys, it's right here in private chat. With 41 votes, Greg Louganis and Stacy Keach both move on to the TKN Celebrity Tournament round number 2 in a few months. In a few months, they will move on to round number 2. Who knows? It might be Stacy and Dan Loria. It might be Greg Louganis and an Olympian. It also might be someone from a different field of entertainment. It's great. Man, Greg, I want to talk to you for a moment. Mr. Keach, I want to, before I bid you adieu, Mr. Keach, before I bid you adieu momentarily, is there anything you'd like to tell Greg right now, if you'd like, before I speak to him?
Nothing that I haven't said before, but I'd love to say it again, and that's how much I respect not only his talent, but who he is as a person. And it's an honor to be on the show with you.
That means so much to me. Because I admire you and followed you, all of the work that you've done. I'm honored to be here. Thank you. In your presence.
Very much.
And I concur. Mr. Keach, I'm going to put you backstage for one moment, my friend, for one moment.
Please.
And then I'm going to talk to Greg momentarily right now. Greg, man, you're moving on to round number 2. I'm so happy that I got to meet you. You have an infectious smile. You've got a beautiful soul, and that comes from my heart. I know we had a countdown clock and a long intro, but did you have a nice time, my friend?
It was awesome. It was really great. Really enjoyed that.
Thank you so much. You looking forward to round 2?
I think G did too.
She was into it. She was into it. My God, I hope you enjoy your weekend, my friend. Welcome to round 2, and I will talk to you soon.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
The great Greg Louganis, guys and gals. Mr. Keach, I'd love to bring you in right now. My gosh, what a fantastic time it was getting to know you, sir.
Well, thank you very much. I can't think of a better way to begin the new year than with you. And with your,
so much.
with the wonderful people that you have surrounding you. It's great.
Thank you so much, my friend. Did you have a nice time?
Round 2.
Round 2. 2, guys and gals. Stacy Keach, thank you, good sir. I'll be in touch, and I hope you have a fantastic new year, my friend.
Thank you so much.
The great Stacy Keach.
God bless.
God bless you. Mr. Ottman, before we bid you adieu, my friend, I want to talk to you one-on-one. What a conversation that was, right, Fred?
Those are 2 amazing guys.
Wow. Wow.
You know, to be literally in the same room and listen to, you know, and to see how emotional they get when they were discussing the different topics, you know, and, you know, there's a bit of humor there. There's a lot of love in both of them, you know, and it just is amazing, you know, just to sit back, you know, like a fly on the wall and listening to this conversation and, you know, hearing their thoughts, their deep thoughts and everything.
And I saw you backstage. You were locked in. You were locked in for word.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I mean, they were 2 incredible gentlemen. And gentlemen, I use that word. They are royalty.
Oh, my gosh.
As far as, you know, individuals. I mean, just amazing.
And even in their profession, like Greg Louganis is the only back-to-back Olympic medalist in diving, 4-time gold medalist, right?
Mm-hmm.
The guy got perfect 10s across the board. And then Stacy Keach is considered, since Barrymore, the greatest stage actor we've ever seen in our life. So,
amazing guy.
Incredible to see them both in round number 2, Fred. Man, oh man, incredible to see you 2 as well. Anything you want to let our audience know? Because listen, Fred,
yes.
I hope you sell this. We have a good time.
Yes.
But man, oh man, are we gonna have a better time in January when Full Steam Ahead goes live with this very audience?
That's it. All interactive.
Mm-hmm.
You can sit down, come in my living room, and me and Avi will have a conversation with you about a variety of topics. You know, so it will be, it's going to be an awesome deal.
And how about our first official guest now, since we're rebranding and going live? Our first official guest will be a lot of luminaries that like Fred. One of them has ties to the Rat Pack. I told Fred who it is, and that's going to be fun.
Oh my God, I'm excited. Yeah. Oh my God, very talented woman.
Oh my
very,
gosh,
very
yes.
talented woman. I cannot wait to talk with her. And
Fred,
a beautiful lady.
She really is, and she's a fan of yours. She's a fan of Mr. Slaughter's and Fred Ottman's. And why not? I'm a fan of yours as a person. Now that you're seeing some of this go down, the WE Hall of Famer, you know who it is, will be on in 2 weeks in January, for sure. Do you think in the last 4 or 5 months this tournament has gone to just a whole new level at this point?
It's incredible, the amount of guests. And like we discussed before, the amount of feedback and phone calls, from you not going after them coming to you.
Yeah.
Because people are talking this up and enjoying what they're seeing and what they're listening to. So it's a great interactive, experience. I mean, it's just a tremendous, and a variety. These are all people from all different walks of life, and several of them are making new friendships, like you talked about in the past. And it's a very cool thing. It's a very, very cool thing. I was initially in shock and awe over these two, and I was like, being here and listening to them, and
well, they want to get to know you too, man, and why not get to know Fred Ottman? I mean, to get to know you is to love you. But you heard what Stacy Keach said, and I got a text too. Winning the whole thing. So winning is still something you want to do as well. The whole thing.
Oh yeah. I don't do things halfway. It could get a little nasty. You know me. And you heard my on your intro there. My brother-in-law, he's gonna be here. Sags the Nasty Boys.
He's in round 2.
Brian Knobs.
So
there's on top of everything else, there's always the bragging rights.
The bragging rights.
And think of all of the athletes and actors and actresses. I mean, comedians, musicians, vocalists. I mean,
incredible.
The sky's the limit. And when we do these postings, the amount, and when you look down the list of people that are into the next round, and on the and a couple of people getting a second chance to earn a slot in that for the second round, it's going to be amazing. It's
what do you think of this? I have to ask you this because you have experience, of course, in this matter. But we're only offering the second chance bowl after round 1. There's 6 total rounds. It will not be an option after round 1. The way it'll work is 12 of the 40 names who've been eliminated will be voted. And we're going to be voting one right now, Fred. If you just, guys, before Fred departs, he'll give us his vote. We'll play a video for you. You can see who's been eliminated. And based on that video, maybe it'll give you an idea of some of the clips that you might have caught or need to kind of refresh your memory on. Who are we voting back tonight to be in the second chance bowl? Once they're voted back, they're not in round 2. They've got to win their bracket just to make it. So it's a 2-step process. We vote someone to be in the second chance bracket. Then they've got to win their match. Then they're in round 2. So it's a tall order. And just the other night on the review show, we already had Scott Winters voted back. Great film and TV persona. We saw JW and Julie. How about Hauser Odalock? You were right there with him. He was a lot tougher than we thought, right?
Oh, he's amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
That you cannot underevaluate that talent.
No.
At all. And he comes across, in that creepy, voice and and just but I'm just telling you cannot underestimate that man.
No,
at all.
Sir.
He's a very dangerous talent, very smart man.
So dangerous. Guys, we're going to bring in the entire Green Roomers right now. We'll play a very brief video just to remind you who they can vote on. And guys, you're not done voting in the comment section either, because once this video is off screen, you will let us know. We'll calculate the votes, and in about 5-10 minutes, we'll find out who gets a chance to be in that second chance bowl. So let's bring in Mr. Pete Sharpie. Pete, you remember Fred? Pete?
Of course, Fred. Good seeing you again.
Good seeing you, Pete. The man.
I love when you're on screen. It's always fun.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
It's good to see you. How you doing, Fred?
Joe Rossitano, also a man of many words and talents at such a young age. Pete Sharpie, of course, guys, who's been here since day one, can do just about anything. And how about a man who was top flight rookie, a guy who I love. I love listening to him all day. I love talking to this man, John Red. John Red, welcome.
Hey guys.
How you doing, brother?
Welcome, John.
Also, second rounder. Everyone here on the screen is a second rounder. Let's bring in another second rounder, guys. The guy who was there from day one with me, Howard Collado. Howard, how are you?
Hey, great for me. Glad to be here. What's up, Frank? Joe.
This is the highlight of my night. This right here is the highlight of my night right here. And of course, let's bring in a very talented, hardworking lady who gets a chance to be in the second round because she was voted to be in the Second Chance Bowl. Truly, Julie, hello.
Hello. I am so excited. I have potential.
More than potential.
You're awesome.
You are awesome.
Thanks.
Yes. I want the audience to know how hard this lady works. She is a machine. She really is.
Holy.
Yes.
This whole cast here deserves to be put over. I cannot do a thing without this great cast over here. They're incredible. But guys and gals and pals, hey, we're about to vote for a second time in 10 minutes on a night where Stacy Keach and, of course, Greg Louganis are in round 2. Here is the Second Chance Bowl video. Now, you're about to see images of those who've been eliminated. Once the video is off screen, we're going to go through the panel, and they're going to let us know who they're voting for. That person, of course, will be tallied in the back. The person receiving the most votes will get a chance to be in that Second Chance Bowl bracket, and then they'll have to win their match. So let's see, guys and gals, who we could be voting for. Remember, only 12 in total out of about 30 will even get a chance to come back to the second round. So, guys, here is the video I'm about to play. Hope you all in the comment section are also watching this as well.
Let's go.
Not comfortable for me.
So that's not the only way that you gain confidence. You're saying that you can't gain confidence for proper tutelage?
Now, he didn't have the same feelings towards his daughter because in the beginning of the movie, he threw her in prison.
Dayton Gordon Wood, but you forgot about Vickers.
No, I just read Vickers, so I'm up on inherited wealth hunting. And I would say that our students are facing a huge lack of meaning. At the end of the day, it really is about winning.
We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight. We shall never surrender.
Win this whole thing, Ray?
Yes, I'm here to win the whole thing, man. I don't get in the ring for losing, man. I'm like in the ring right now. Think you're not gonna be you being watched? You are being watched, man.
Stand by 1 minute. Countdown to action.
But you are here to win the entire tournament.
Totally. We all want to win, right? Woodstock. Probably the most remarkable experience of my life as a musician.
Let us show you some pudding. Right. Let him show you.
Bern, you're here to win the entire thing?
You know, winning is really important. But you know what's even greater is inspiring. And bro, that's what you do with this show. The worst human nature can always go back in time.
Certainly about the prize, but the prize is pretty darn good too. May or may not affect that. And when you have that weather, then how does it affect traffic?
Boycotting Lake Superior because I think it's a little smug that you have to call yourself Lake Superior.
Send some kids to Greece. And in those single notes, you know, I get these goosebumps all the time.
way around a computer.
If I'm lucky enough to win, I'll turn it back into the pool and dispel some of the crazy rumors.
I want the truth!
It all took place in Arizona on a soundstage.
I'm not opposed to working with someone extremely attractive.
Yeah, baby, suck your thumb! Hey, this ain't recess in prep school, ex-Luger.
Everybody has some pride. The Colts, they had so many different great talents.
This is the real world!
You can't use that as a topic to debate war.
Can't complain about bad relations with Pakistan while at the same time doing nothing to make them better.
You're here to win this whole tournament.
Oh, absolutely. I'm here to kill it. I'm here to kill it. And families got to be more intimate. It made people start to reach out and learn about each other's cultures more freely. And
the 1919 White Sox were the biggest scandal in sports history.
This is where we grew up.
Well, you want to win this entire thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to win this entire thing. I don't like losing. If you watch any of the recent shows, when they wear the super suit, kryptonite doesn't hurt them.
Are you here to win this whole tournament, Mark?
Yes, I'm going to win it all, man. It has the verse. Just a man and his will to survive. Just a man and his will to survive.
I think it means fine. I'm not quite sure.
I'm ready, willing to do what it takes to win. These schools were invading other schools.
Eric, are you here as well to win this entire shebang, the whole thing, pride of the prize?
You already know what that is. Just take off that mask. Let him come find you.
I have one line for you, buddy. I want to win it all.
But most control,
What happened to you? You lost your control.
I believe, is an illusion.
And I lost control.
To life. For daggers.
For daggers.
I'm always in it to win it, Avi. When people fall in love, it's a soul connection. It should go against ageism.
That indeed it is. Trash can.
So riddle me this, riddle me that. I am ready for this. And he's sexy in those jeans, those tight jeans that laced up in front, and it just made all the girls go, ooh.
They get two masks. One is a clown mask, and one, as we all know, is the infamous William Shatner mask.
Are you here to win the entire thing as well, the pride and the prize?
I'm taking no prisoners, Avi. I am still have a career, and to have a force and a voice.
It's what you don't see that can frighten you the most.
We've been planning to go to Greece for a long time. It's going to happen now. Some more reason why you need to read To Kill a Mockingbird.
You must not read from the book.
So people don't want you to do it. Is a good incentive why you should do it.
After seeing all the luminaries that came before me, I can't help but my type A get involved with this and have to want to win this thing. Didn't put limitations on those goals and those dreams. And then, fast forward a year and a half later, all of these lofty goals came true.
Anytime there's a challenge, I'm here. He's a strong family man, and he's not going to step in between Van Heflin and his family.
If you're guys aren't pumped up after that video. I don't think we're human. Man, oh man. Gosh.
Man.
And Julie, guys, is in the second chance bowl. She still has to win her match to be in round 2. But besides for Julie, everyone here on the panel has experienced victory. They're all in round number 2. So, guys, in the comment section, start voting now. And let me give you the list again. Of the possibilities you can vote for are Ray Mercer, Boxing Hall of Famer and Olympian. Cindy Pickett. Golden Globe winner Anson Williams. Pro wrestling legend Glacier Ray Lloyd. Emmy Award winner Peter Melman. 7-time Emmy Award nominee and winner Ed Bakley Jr. WW Hall of Famer and one of the all-time greats Stan Hansen. Jenny Santana. Multi-time award winner Lila Robbins. Of the Green Room, Phil Justin. Todd Bridges. Inspirational and motivational speaker and pro wrestling legend Mark Merrow. U.S. Olympian, Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer Ken Patera. Oscar, Emmy, Golden Globe, Tony Award nominee Eric Roberts. Guys, we're reading you people who've lost, and look at that resume. Multi-time award winner Olivia Dabo. WWE Hall of Famer Medusa. Green Room owned Rock Richards. Pro wrestling legend, teacher, student, stand-up comic, and storyteller Al Snow. The mysterious Pinocchio Joe. ABA and NBA great Brian Taylor. Grammy Award nominee Jeff Timmons of 98 Degrees. 3-time Hall of Famer Lenny Wilkins and 2-time U.S. Olympian. And, of course, 3-time Grammy Award nominee, we saw him last week, of Prince's Revolution, man who revolutionized keyboard, Matt Dr. Fink. So we're going to start with the panel. And, guys, I see you voting in the comment section. Remember, I'm going to read the comments of the viewers second, and I will read. Of course, guy, I'll announce. I should say I'll kick it over to this panel, and they'll announce who they're voting for and why. We're going to start with Howard Collado. Who are you voting back and why? And I will tally this in the back. Remember, when everyone's done voting, I will vote since I never get a chance to judge. My votes, of course, are worth 5. Howard Collado.
I'm going to try and keep this short and concise. In my mind, it's kind of a 3-way tie between Al Snow, Todd Bridges, and Anson Williams. Mm-hmm. All 3 men really made such great points, fought valorously when they debated and when they were on. But I'm going to go with Todd Bridges.
Todd Bridges.
Yeah.
So Todd has 1. Guys, you could see Fred, Joe, Pete, John all taking notes because really you are getting what you see. Every celebrity who texts me and calls me as well are asking about the Second Chance Bowl. You know, their fate in this tournament is in our hands. So really, we're taking this very seriously. We'll see how we're going to vote and why with the rest of the panel. Howard voted for Todd. Joe Risitano.
I vote for Lenny Wilkins.
Lenny Wilkins. As I type this, why? Give me the whys.
The why is because I think that his appearance was cut very short. And as someone who was able to give us his views and opinions and more in such a very hectic time and show, okay, I think he deserves another chance.
And guys, the man who defeated Lenny Wilkins is one of my favorites to win this thing. I said it Wednesday, Magnum TA. He's going to be a force here. Very smart, brilliant man. And again, someone who took out Lenny, that says a lot about Magnum as well. Yeah. Julie.
So, gosh, every time I watch this, I want to vote them all back in, but alas, we cannot vote all of them back in. I'm going to stick with my original vote, and that is for Todd Bridges because he had a very close matchup against Stephen Tobolowsky, and I think he deserves another chance.
Todd Bridges gets Julie's vote and also Howard's. Lenny's on the board as well. Guys, in the comment section, to all you amazing, incredible engine that makes this thing go, we will pull up your comments and get your votes momentarily, so don't fret. Let's see who Pete Sharpie votes for and why.
All right. Well, the whole list, is amazing people on there. And you look at the list of people on, you're like, wow, how are they not in round 2? How did I get in round 2? Well, that's easy because I'm a winner. But I narrowed it down to 2 people, but for the person I'm voting for, because this person, I can see myself going up against in round number 2. Because I think we're very similar. Peter Melman.
Peter Melman. Guys, that went down the wire.
I would love to be on screen.
Jerry Sags was the top vote getter, And then Brian Knobs edged out Melman by 1 vote. So Peter Melman gets Pete's vote. Remember, we're going to tally. Whoever gets the most votes will be included in a field of Scott Winters, Hauser Odalock, JW, and Truly Julie. There will be 12 total eliminated parties that will get a chance to come back. Okay? Pete votes for Peter. Pete votes for Pete. Got that? Mr. John Red.
I've got a 3-way tie as well, and there's so much talent, and I wouldn't be surprised if the second chance winner wins the whole thing. I mean, that's where we're at right now. So I've got Peter Melman, Lenny Wilkins, Todd Bridges. Now, Julie just said that Todd Bridges had a close match, but you remember Tobolowsky wasn't feeling too good that night. So would it have been closer or maybe not as close? Lenny Wilkins and Peter Melman. I'm going to go with Peter Melman. I'm really impressed the way that he came in, and there was craziness going on, and he kind of weathered the storm. He got in his head, and he competed really, really well. He got up against the Nasty Boys, and it was pretty nasty.
No, not easy. Jerry Saggs, man, oh man, what a music aficionado. And Brian, they're incredible. Ramon Solomon, so many guys to choose from. Yeah, Tracy, this has to be hard for you guys and you in the comment section. Guys, we're now going to go to not only a pro wrestling legend and the host of Full Steam Ahead and a luminary, of course, as well, the legendary Fred Ottman.
I was between Todd and Stan Hansen.
Oh.
And I think I'm going to go with Stan.
Stan.
Give him a chance.
Stan Hansen.
Yeah, because he's a tough son of a bitch.
He really is. And let's remind ourselves, too, Stan Hansen was up against JBL, who many people predict to win this whole thing.
He's sharp.
Really sharp. So sharp.
JBL.
There might be some dream matchup guys in round 2. Remember, we pick names after round 1 is over in about a month. We pick all those in round number 2, such as this panel. Every single name that we see. Already 75 Hall of Famers from sports, wrestling, along with Oscar, Grammy, Tony, Emmy, Golden Globe, AMA, and Olympians, all in this field. We're going to pick their names, all of those in round 2, and draw them randomly and see who they face in round number 2. Who knows what dream matchups we might get. So the panel, as great as they are, guys and gals, you guys are just as great because you're going to be voting now too. Let us know who you're voting for as well. Fred has voted for Stan Hansen, WWE Hall of Famer and co-host of The Lariat here on this network. Fred was a guest on The Lariat. Fred, we had a good time with Stan.
Oh, I had fun with him. And you, always good conversations. There's no dead spots. There was no dead spots whatsoever. It was a great experience. Yeah,
thank you, brother. You guys are incredible.
I love you too, brother.
Appreciate that. Guys and gals and pals, you can watch that on YouTube very soon as well. Stan and Fred were incredible on screen. So let's see who we have from our viewers. They are voting right now. Ramon votes for Peter Melman. So Peter Melman gets another vote. That is 3 for Peter Melman. Okay. All right. Let's see who we got here. It is a list. It's quite the list for sure. Lenny Wilkins, according to Phil. Lenny gets another vote. So that is 2 for Lenny. 2. Very good. We have another one. Ed Bagley Jr. He's on the board.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Joe, for typing that. Appreciate that. Nice. Phil Justin gets his first vote from Chad. Okay, Phil Justin is on the board. Awesome. Phil was ahead of Jim McMahon until the third topic, so Phil did really well that night against Rick Barry. Rick Barry was coast to coast. He was winning that whole thing from the opening bell, but then it was a match between Chad and Phil that I found interesting. Ed says, Jeff Timmons has my vote. He made a good impression on me. So many great people, though. Absolutely. Yeah, Phil did great. Jeff did great. It's very hard. Michael Elkins votes for Todd. So Todd gets another vote. All right, I'm not going to count all of these guys. Okay, I think Julie Hall. Todd Bridges, he lost by 1. All right, yeah. And Jeff Reeder concurs. Todd gets another vote. That's 2 straight for Todd. You might render my vote obsolete, guys, if I can't catch up anyway. Louis Sanchez votes for Todd.
Louis Shands.
Thank you, Louis. Nice to see you. Jeff Reeder Jr. votes for Matt Fink. And McKenna concurs and also votes for Matt Fink. So 2 straight for Matt Fink. Randy Pritchard agrees with Mr. Fred Ottman. Stan the Lariat Hansen. Absolutely. Stan gets another vote. Okay. Tracy Mitchell votes for Todd Bridges. Thank you, Joe, for keeping up here. Tiara Seeley, I'm voting for Eric Roberts. I grew up watching his movies mostly on Lifetime. And Bruce Lampton Perlman votes for Jeff Timmons as well. Jeff gets a couple of votes. And, of course, this was not a secret. Mindy Red was very vocal that she'd vote for Todd, and there it goes. She is voting indeed for Todd Bridges.
I'm surprised there's no exclamation points after that.
Oh, gosh, yeah. I am too. Lester Cook votes Lenny Wilkins. Hey. Guys and gals and pals in the comment section, it is not a foregone conclusion as to who's going to be back in the Second Chance Bowl just yet. Johnny Hauser is in round 2, but we thank you for joining us. He's not in round 2. He's back in the bowl. And guys, Wednesday night, the Black Box is back on Joe's page. More information on the Black Box. It'll be on 8 p.m. Eastern time this Wednesday. It should be on every Wednesday, and that will be the home of this voting process for the Second Chance Bowl. Monique votes for Todd. Okay, guys, I'm going to start counting this thing down. Let's see where we are. Andrew Red also votes for Todd, and so does Chantel. Okay, that's 2 straight. Brian, you were in that workshop I had with Medusa, so you're voting for Medusa. Maybe a little loyalty there. Medusa was amazing. What a smart lady she is. Incredibly smart and gifted and talented, multifaceted. Michael Elkins votes for Todd. There's a lot of Todd votes here, guys. I'm going to see where we are now. Alexander votes for Eric. All right, let's see. Todd has 11. Todd has 11, which means if my 5 go to anyone, it won't really make a difference anyway, right? Because the next in line would be Peter Melman, who has Joe. What do we have?
Peter Melman has at least 3. That's it.
3. So it won't make a difference, guys. Ed, yes, Todd is a fellow Eagles fan. So, guys, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. You know there's a 5 and a 4 and a 3 and a 2 and a 1 and a 0. Guys, Todd Bridges is going to be in the Second Chance Bowl. But trust me when I say Stan Hansen, Eric Roberts, Peter Melman, a lot of these luminaries, there'll be how many more spots? There'll be 7 more spots after tonight.
Yes,
so we're not done just yet.
7 more.
Guys, Fred Ottman was an incredible judge tonight. Host of Full Steam Ahead. He's in round number 2. Fred, any words for the viewers and this panel, my friend?
Well, I hope everybody had a great night tonight. I know that I did, you know, and I want to share the love with the panel and with all the people in the audience. God bless you all. It's a great experience. I always enjoy this stuff. It's been too long since I've been here, so it's nice to be back in the saddle again, so to speak. Hope to support you guys.
Happy New Year,
Fred,
to you.
Happy New Year to you, my friend. Happy New Year.
Great to have you,
God
Fred.
bless. All right. Happy New Year.
Happy New
Fred
Year.
Ottman, guys and gals. Fred Ottman. Man, oh, man. I'm going to go backstage right now. And to our YouTube audience watching now, the 2 hour and 27-minute mark, if you want to watch everything else that's happening before your very eyes, because we got more show to go. We've got more videos, more surprises, more green rumors. Man, oh, man. Some people you haven't seen in a while are going to pop up via video. If you want to watch the rest of this show, it's going to have to be on my Facebook page or the New Network Facebook page. My page or the New Network Facebook page. We're also airing on Millions for the first time, guys. Millions.co. More on that next week. What is Millions? It's another great platform that we are streaming on right now. As a matter of fact, here, let me show you. It looks right now. A little reverb here. So that's fine. I can hear my voice twice. Ever so nice. So here we go. This is us on. There we go. There we go. We're on Millions, as you can see. We are on Millions. Where is us on? Alrighty, Millions. There we go. Awesome stuff.
Pretty cool.
That is really cool. That is really cool. We are branching out to a lot of areas, a lot of places, a lot of choices to watch us live. So
very true. Cool. So, guys, we're going to shut off YouTube right now. If you're watching on YouTube, switch on over to my Facebook page, Avi Klein, or the New Network Facebook page.